These hallucinations kick back in.
All right. Welcome to the Crossmeet campaign, back after missing a week. This is session 21. Previously in Calthania, our party returned from Mectoroth, having infiltrated there and recovering a book for Lady LeSever, during which, as part of the deception, they told a little fib which has some ramifications in the present, which we'll get to in a moment. The lady told them that she wanted a few days to study the book they brought back for her, and she had no immediate tasks for her. The party also got to meet some elven royalty who, let's say, coolly presented them each with a present, a ring, identifying them as friends of the Wood Elves for saving Fyro's life. The party was also visited by a local woman who gave them some jam and wanted them to deliver some jam to her husband. She didn't have the money that Swift wanted to make the delivery, and so Jawdet generously gave her the money, and she was able to mail this jam to her husband. And then finally the party was visited by Suda Lassim, a former trainer of Talrun, at the monastery he trained at, where Todret sang, and he told him that he was infected. And he invited him, Talrun, along with the rest of the party, to come to Kirti Gampa, where he is staying now, another monastery, maybe to see towards a cure. Now, he did tell you that they went back to the old monastery. It was empty. He told you that several of the monks, about a month or two ago, made an attack on Blackwater, doing great damage to the naval yards, for they were all slaughtered. He tracked down a few monks, 3 in fact, who had been similarly infected. In attempting a cure, 2 were killed and 1 went insane. And so it is to Kirti Gampa that the 5 of you travel, along with Suda, in the hopes that something can be done for Talrun before a similar fate overtakes him. Now, you traveled through a day and a half or so of snow and cool, clear conditions, and then when you were about an hour and a half, perhaps less, from Kirti Gampa, moving through some hills, you encountered a large group of orcs engaged in battle with 3 hill giants. The orcs have dispatched the hill giants, and you are now overlooking the battlefield. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to call up a world map just to show you quickly where you are there. Let me share this. Come on. So you guys are in here, amongst these hills. Crossmeet's down here. And this is what you see now as you overlook the battlefield. So the figures in gray are dead, obviously. There are orcs. There are a few orogs that are riding wargs. There's an Eye of Grumpsh also riding a warg. You are on top of this hill overlooking this. Suda is back with the wagons and the mounts. Several orcs and an orog are leaving the area headed north, as commanded by the Eye, who barked orders afterwards, and the orcs are now kind of spread out, examining the different bodies. You can think of each of these areas as one zone if you want, if that helps for whatever plans you may come up with. So that's where we start. You guys are on the crest of this hill. As far as you know, you haven't been seen. Suda is with the wagons and the mounts a little further down the hill. It's about 3 in the afternoon. It's cold. The snow here is about a foot and a half deep. Let's begin with Grim. Tell us what you're thinking, doing, looking like, etc.
Well, right now Grim is sort of hunkered down, squatting next to remains of a tree, an old heavy stump, and he's sort of like leaning against it, peering around. He is his coat sort of spilling around him, his hat tilted down, and his head sort of tilted to the side so just the flat brim of the hat sort of is parallel with the tree, and he's sort of looking at what's going on. His eyes flick to the ones heading north, and kind of watches them go, and his eyes kind of flick to the other groups, kind of getting a feel for where they are in relation to each other, distances, ranges, things like that, and as he doesn't take his eyes off him, as he does, sort of reaches into his coat and pulls out his black iron wand, and starts just sort of rolling it in his fingers, and those nearby see a little bit of sort of this little bit of purple vapor sort of rising from it as he begins to sort of fiddle with it.
Excellent. Okay, so Jadette, you're standing, crouching nearby.
Yeah. So, if she kind of looks from person to person. So, are we supposed to go down there and, or is this like we just let them, or?
I think it would be a bad idea to give up the high ground.
I think it might be a bad idea to get involved, but
if we can get that one in the middle, I think the rest will run.
Yes. Yeah. What about like some?
The mare will brush up some golden flecks of sand on her clothing and in her ear after casting her mage armor spell. As you'll kind of squint her eyes, looking at the middle of the rocks. He's pretty far away. You sure you can hit him?
I kind of tilt my head and peer around the stump again, and ponder it for a minute while I look through my spell book in my head.
But we do have kind of the adventures in the higher ground. I'll give you that.
I say,
are you sure that they'll flee if the one in the middle is destroyed?
Well, saying that you're sure is a very concrete idea, and it's not like we have fought these particular orcs before.
And I don't think they're known as being particularly cowardly.
The mayor kind of go, and you hear that.
Look, orcs have a pack mentality. If you take down the alpha in any group, the rest of them are going to panic.
And which one is the alpha?
Well, the big guy with the feather in his hair.
Yeah, I kind of peer around and I point my wand directly at the one. That one.
Are you pointing at the Eye of Grumsh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on. You kind of.
Which you might sort of recognize, semi-recognize.
Isn't that someone we know?
All looks look the same to me.
I guess.
Oh my god, there's horns.
The Eye of Rumsh, is that the shaman that we had for the
Yes.
night? Yeah.
Yes.
So I look at Grim. So that one.
Well, hey, you know what they say.
Well,
A
look,
good-
I have to.
A good orc is a dead orc. And I don't mean half orc, and she looks at Jada.
I'd say, well, speaking for myself, I have two options that I can offer the group. I have two spells which I have yet to try that could wreak some serious havoc on those on a good number of them. I think maybe half at least. The third spell is would allow me to create an image and sound and smell that could boggle their senses and cause them to either attack it or flee from it. I can make something pretty big.
Oh, we could wait till the majority of them has left, and then take the stragglers.
Yes, but there is the problem of where are they going when they leave?
Probably home.
Yeah, they
Well,
might head to the monastery if they find
I don't think that's entirely accurate.
Rob, when we look at them, what kind of armor are they wearing, and do they have ranged weapons?
Yes, some of them have ranged weapons. They're wearing leather, hide, studded leather, a variety of melee weapons from swords to maces.
But do they have longbows or throwing axes? Or...
Oh, give me a sec. Some of them have javelins as ranged weapons.
If we can hold the position, and Grim says he can take out 95% of them with a spell, I think we got a shot.
Well, technically I said 50%, but
I've seen what you can do with your medic, so I have full confidence in the additional 45%.
I might be able to hit him at about maybe 150 feet out. So I think I can hit them before they hit us.
How much is that by that stump? Points at a stump.
What are you pointing to?
She just points at a stump that's about 120 feet up.
Yeah, they're a little bit more.
I think we might, if we're doing it, we have to worry most about the ones on the walks. Because they'll probably charge right up to us.
Well, I could see about sneaking down a bit closer.
Well, maybe if we shoot the ones closest to them, and if they all come running towards us, and when they're grouped, you can take them.
There's no guarantee if the leader sends all his other men up, then I might waste my spell. I might waste my spells taking out the lackeys and.
I know, but they just taking down 3 giants, so they're probably full of themselves at this moment. So they're probably in battle mode, in battle rage. But
Yeah,
I'm guessing they won't think so clearly at this point.
Well, I wouldn't count on the leader being so easily coerced.
Right. And the tactics they're using right now, fighting the giants or having just killed all the giants, it looked pretty organized, right, Rob? This isn't like just guys running around.
Yep. There was guys barking commands, Orogs in the eye. Some would move into melee, but they kind of surrounded it. They didn't get too close. Others stayed at distance and chucked javelins.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, these are the guys or trained by the guys that the orc that Tolrin wanted to train him trained. Wow, that was a lot of So
Syntax.
So train by the train.
yes. Well, if we're going to do something, we best do it soon, or we'll be chasing them all through, well,
Right.
all this place.
Well, I could
The
also
little group
distract
to the
them.
north has moved out of the area. You can see
Yeah.
the footprints as they go.
The
The other ones are like meticulously going over the bodies, searching them.
They're taking all of our loot.
We're just gathering it up for you.
When we saw the battle, did the shaman cast any noticeable spells?
The shaman cast spells, yes.
Okay.
Well, and we're about 160-ish feet from them right now.
The outer edge of, the leading edge, yeah.
The closest group, yeah.
Yeah. So they
There will also be probably, the occasional tree in here. It's not like completely empty.
right.
But
Sure.
It's largely empty.
Well,
I mean, I got no beef with them.
You know what? I said, I tell you what. I'm gonna go see if I can get closer to the leader. You wait here till I attack, and then you come in from the side.
We have to run to a group of orcs when you do that.
Well, yeah, that's the plan, right?
But we have the higher ground.
Well, and you still will. I won't, but well, actually, I might. See that hill over there, and I point to the hill to the south.
Mm-hmm.
If I go down the eastern side of ours, work my way around and go up that one, I can get close enough to the leader where I can get him and his group.
Okay. No, how about
That's
if
still a lot of folks for us to handle.
yeah? How about Tolrun goes with you, because then you have some sort of melee protection.
All right. It sounds like a plan. So I kind of jerk my head to Tolrun and I begin working my way to the down the eastern slope quickly and quietly.
Okay, so for full disclosure, just so you guys, when you're making your plans, I want you to understand I'm doing this zone thing. This was from an article Mike Shaded Fly Flourish. So when you're in a zone, this is for mass battles. When you have a zone like this, if you're in the zone, it's assumed you can reach anything else within that zone, or move to the next zone. So you can basically think of your range as that.
Okay.
So a zone is the 150 feet, or
No, it's 40 by 40. Basically, each of these packs is going to be, you can consider in one zone.
Okay.
They just weren't all nice and neatly gridded out for you.
all right.
You're heading down south, Grim?
Yeah, well, basically, down. I'm gonna go first. We're gonna go down the east slope of the hill we're on, then south, and then back west up the slope of that other hill, to the southern hill.
Okay.
And yeah, cause basically, I want to get close enough to the eye to take the eye out.
And yeah, I'm following after him.
while they're moving down, I'll go to the edge, the other side of the hill we're standing on, and try to get Suda's attention, kind of wave him up here.
Yeah, I thought you were heading that direction first anyway. I thought you were going east.
Well, I am, but Torun and I are going that way. Jawdat and Belmira are still going to stay at the top of that hill. Only Torun and I are going to the other hill.
Okay. So I'll have Talrun and you can make me stealth checks, and I'm going to give you advantage because of the snow.
Yeah. We also have some cover of the things too, so that helps.
You also got warg sniffing the air. So.
Right, so
I got a 20.
don't poo yourself.
Right.
17? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, 17.
10.
20.
Excellent. So when you reach Suda, he asks, what is the situation? What is the plan? Yeah. Don't want to think about what might happen if they reach Kirti Gampa.
Well,
at least not without warning.
nor do we. There's an orc raiding party on the other side of the hill. Go up to the top and do whatever Jordat tells you. I almost said
Grins
no,
at that.
I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't say do whatever Balmero tells you.
Well, that's why I said it, because you weren't there.
He looks at you, Talrun. What is your plan?
I look at Grim. So
I say,
he plans to take out the leader.
He's asking you.
Yeah, and I gesture at Grim and say he plans to take out the leader with magic.
Okay. If you feel you must. He leaves the mounts and the wagons where they are and heads up the hill. And, you guys start making your way to the south.
Okay, so we're kind of, I imagine, kind of hunkered down and moving quietly and stealthily, and I kind of whisper to Talrun and say, "What's that supposed to mean? If we must."
Perhaps he didn't think this particular plan was wise.
It's translated from monk. If you must go die.
Well, you know
Yes,
what?
but
So, at the top of the hill, Suda joins Jawdat and Balmera. And he says to Jawdat, he says, she's my former student and your friend of a plan which involves splitting our forces.
Wait, who is a plan?
Well, my former student and your other friend. He points back to the way they went.
Yes. I think that our intention is to try and how do they say? Cut off the head?
They say cut off the head. Balmero said too.
That's what I think you know.
But that's what they say when they say cut off the head. They say cut off the head.
Yes. So I think the plan was to cut off the head.
As they say.
As they say. As far as what we're supposed to do up here, that is a little less clear.
But we're supposed to get the attention of the orcs down there by the first dead giant, so that Tolwyn and Grim won't have to fight them all.
Suda looks back at you, Jawdat.
So if you can kill them from this, it will kill.
I look at Suda and kind of shrug, like, well, you see, this plan is not as good as I was hoping. So, yes.
Well, maybe if other people added to the plan and didn't let me just have to come up with it all on my own, we'd have a
are you
different plan.
shouting that
Oh, we
across
didn't,
to them?
Maybe if other people added to the plan. All right, guys, here's my portion of the plan. Let's go.
What Jawdat and Balmero doesn't know is that Grim and Tolrun isn't planning on killing the orcs. They plan to go back to the house and take all the coin we have stored in the house. They're out.
A double.
We warn them. Look out, there are assassins in themselves.
Talrun doesn't have to worry anymore. He's
So are we supposed to attack these orcs first, or are we waiting for Graham to attack the other orc?
We're waiting for them to attack the other orcs. Then we attack the orcs, so we will divide the attention.
But if you look at them, as they are done picking up the stuff off the bodies, they are all sort of grouping together. If this does not happen soon, there will not be separate groups of orcs. There will just be... It's like...
Well, have faith in Grim. He's a far better wizard than Cyrus was. So.
Oh, soon. Too soon.
If he does not do something soon, it's going to be like putting meat in a grinder.
And Torben always wanted to fight a big bad orc, so that's good. And if it goes bad, we can always run.
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna start, I guess, moving down this hill a little bit behind cover so that at least I'm within, spell range of the first, the closest orc in that group.
I am moving along with Jardat.
Well, there isn't a whole lot of cover going down this hill, so I'm gonna
I'll lay down in the snow.
Just start crawling.
Just start crawling if I have to. Yeah.
Excellent.
No, we're not going down the entire hill, just like in.
Yeah, I actually only need to go down about 30 or 40 feet. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe one. I'm gonna guess like one declination of the mountain there.
Yeah, one ring.
So Suda, he looks at you puzzled, points at himself as, "Do you want me to? Shall I come with you?"
It depends. How comfortable are you with punching orcs, so they do not go to your mountain lodge thing?
He looks at you. He ponders for a minute. Then looks at you and he smiles and he holds up both fists and he says, "I brought my weapons."
Is this some sort of a monastery joke? Is like a sense of humor. No. It was. Never mind. Yes, get down in snow and.
Okay, so I'm going to have you guys make a stealth check with advantage. And I'm going to do it for Suda as well.
Whew! Thank goodness for that advantage.
Oh boy. Cool.
Suda's like, I'm glad I wore my red robes. Thanks, Suda. What? I'm not the ninja teacher. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did you roll, Dennis? I didn't see.
22.
All right, good. So you guys get down to about, let's say, the 100-foot demarcation then?
Sure.
100-foot elevation demarcation. And the wargs, a little bit of snow goes trickling down the hill, and the wargs kind of sniff up, their heads snap to attention, and they look in your direction. Now, to the southeast part of this hill, you guys, Talrun and Grim, are now crossing, making their way back behind this hill, correct?
Yeah. Why can't I see this hill?
Down here.
Yeah, we're gonna be going up. We're gonna be going up the eastern face of the southern hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming down here and coming like this, right?
Well, assuming that up is north. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're following this track here.
Yeah, we're coming up the side of the hill where we have cover, and but as we're climbing the hill, I ask Torun, I say, do you remember the spell? I can make you really big. Would you be interested in that when we get to the top?
Yes. Torun kind of closes his eyes for a second, as if concentrating on something, and yeah. If they look like they're about to attack us, I think you should cast it on us.
Oh, I think they'll attack us. I think they'll attack us all right. So it's basically as soon as we get to the top of the hill, and I want to find cover, kind of toward the side facing the eye. So just any tree that I can just sort of get behind and use for cover.
Okay.
And as soon as I as soon as I have line of sight of him, I'm going to I'll be ready to act. So let me know when I can.
All right. So Steve's got to do a phone call here in 3 minutes, so I want to delay the beginning of combat till after that call, if you guys don't mind. I want you to make me a stealth check though for that. You're moving quite a distance there. Again with advantage because they don't know you're there and you're moving through snow, which is going to help to cover. But you can still see your breath. You're still leaving footprints.
Yep.
Yeah. 25.
16.
Okay. So while the orcs don't seem to haven't given any indication that you're there, they do seem alert.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they are. They just finished a battle with giants, so they're if orcs have adrenaline, it's pumping.
Oh yeah, you can see their breath in the snow, tracks all over the place, big red blood stains in the snow.
I'm guessing they won't be expecting spells though, because I don't think those giants were probably spellcasters of any kind.
I knew that story was a lie. Meanwhile, back on the other hill, Suda says to you, "What are we to do when something happens?" He looks at both of you, not sure about the plan.
I suppose we are supposed to engage this other group of orcs.
He points at the ones on the wargs, the orogs on the wargs.
I point at the more southern group of them.
Okay, he nods.
If something comes running up the hill, you punch them hard so that they bleed out the ears. That's the plan. As we will stay here and get as many spells cast before they reach us to take out as many as we can, but we will keep this this position.
I have no spells to cast.
I know. So you're here to provide protection in melee once that occurs.
Okay, very well.
Unless you can go down and take them all out. I don't know.
He looks at you, certain that you're joking.
Hey, I seen Torvald punch a pig to death.
Pretty much the same thing, right?
Orc pig. You can eat them
Big,
both.
small Okami.
Is this a call you have to make, or you're waiting for, Steve?
If I don't get the call in the next minute, I'm gonna make it. So.
Okay. By the way, while I'm sort of sussing out the situation on top of the hill, I again not taking my eyes up, but I reach into my probably my pack, and I take out the short sword, Ace's short sword, and I kind of stick it into the kind of stump of the rotting tree just at the bottom, just not hard, just enough so it'll stand on its own, and I can grab it if I need to.
Oh, okay. Did you say a special kind of short sword? I didn't quite hear that.
Yeah, it was. Who gave it to me? Yeah, the one that has a little electricity.
The
to
mad dwarf.
Oh, the one that Volcrum gave to you.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of stick it in the stump next to next to me, and
Okay.
so I just want it ready so that I can grab it if it comes down to me having to use something like that.
Occasionally, a little flicker of lightning appears on the blade, or even around the hilt.
Yeah.
You can hear the wargs stamping in the snow, looking around, huffing. You can see their breath in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
The orcs that are closest to you around the giant seem fairly intent on that one.
Yeah.
Over here, where the org and the eye go, they've actually moved a little bit to the southwest, so they're closer to that giant now. So that
good.
group is a little more tightly packed now.
Oh, nice.
The group above them has kind of tightened up somewhat too.
Okay.
Orog.
Orog, yeah.
Orog. Yeah.
Is that the half orc, half ogre? Or?
Yep. That's probably a good way to think of them.
So they're kind of similar to the Oscillions?
Ogrillion?
Yeah, Ogrillion.
I don't know what the difference is exactly. I think an
How many
Agrarian's a little bit more human.
Okay, but they're big guys.
They are bigger than orcs, yes.
Okay.
Hey Rob.
Keep in mind, orcs are 6'6", so on average.
Rob,
Okay.
while Steve is doing his thing, I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah. No sweat.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, so we'll take 5 here while Steve does his thing.
All right.
So I've been playing the Neverwinter MMO.
What have you been playing?
The Neverwinter MMO.
Oh, okay, yeah, Neverwinter.
It's kind of like a skin of 4th edition D&D, but you
Okay.
know, with MMO stats. And I was kind of like, I had a character that I had from the beta version or the trial version or whatever that I reactivated recently because some friends of mine were playing it. So I figured why not just continue playing that character. So today I made a second character, and I noticed, and I had forgotten this, but you roll your stats in that MMO just as in D&D. So remember the old Eye of the Beholder where you just hit reroll, 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 reroll.
Yeah.
So I was sitting reroll, reroll, reroll. Oh, it's so good, but as 6 in con, no. Of course, I have no idea what it really means in that game, but you have like I have a the levels go up to 70, so it's vastly extended levels as opposed to D&D. But you have MMO hit points, so you have like 40,000 hit points or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
But it's cool. They still have the encounter powers and the daily powers, but they don't. You don't have to rest. You will gain. Like if you're a battle wizard, you will gain action points that refreshes your powers by doing damage.
Oh, nice.
It's only a skin of 4E. You know what I mean? It's not. It's very much like D&D when you're not in combat. When you're in combat, it's not that much like D&D.
Well, it plays out like D&D when you're in combat. It's just different numbers and different. So.
No, I would say that it plays well as a rewatch of a D&D fight. In actual play, it's nothing like a D&D fight because D&D is fucking turn-based. It doesn't require actual player skill. It requires character skill, which is the problem with all those games.
What game you guys?
It's an MMO. It's called Neverwinter.
Right, Neverwinter Nights.
No, Neverwinter.
Yeah.
The Neverwinter Nights is the old game. This is the MMO.
Right. I know what you mean.
My point is that literally a person who is blind and has one hand can play tabletop D&D as well as anyone else. Until the video game matches that experience, it's not going to be the same thing. It has to all rely on character skill. Nothing can be on player skill.
Yeah, but I like that. Like encounter powers are just like when when it's a new encounter, and a new encounter is kind of like a new battle. So if you battle 2 orcs, that's an encounter power. If you encounter 2 new orcs,
I ran 4E for years.
Yeah, but in the MMO. So
yeah, in the MMO they're unlimited. Everything is unlimited.
Well, they refresh. They're kind of like on a complicated timer.
Yeah, on their own individual timers. But as I said, it's really not very much like the game, other than in name and in dressing. The mechanics are totally different.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
I had a question about the bag of tricks.
Yeah.
I was reading through it. Now, do you pick what you want to take out, or is it random?
It's random each time.
Okay.
All right, I murder all the orcs.
The tan one. You have the
all
tan
the
bag,
orcs
as I recall.
Yep, I killed all of them.
Excellent. Well, that was
Right.
All right, I've got hit point numbers written all over the place.
All right.
What
can I ask?
Yeah. So you just tell me when you're. I'm not going to have initiative rolled until the combat actually begins.
I'm not sure that sounds comfortable.
Yeah. So basically, for me, as soon as I see the eye and his entourage getting closer to that other group, Again, I'm using the tree. I'm using the tree as cover.
To the southwest, right? That group. Those 3 orcs.
Yeah. So I kind of shift around to the other side of the tree. And then I get my wand ready, and I kind of lean out, and I kind of roll it in my fingers, and exhale, and then I move my hand around it. I do a twist. I haven't done this one before, and then I push my hand down the length of my arm into the wand. You see this power build up in my hand, and then kind of channel down to the wand, and poof, you see this little this little ember of light goes shooting in that direction until it's almost invisible against the light of the snow, and then there's a long second, and then poof, as a fireball erupts in the center of that group. Hopefully.
I assume you've got the range here, like 200 feet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep. I'm within range.
Okay. So it's deck saves, right? They got to make a pile of deck saves. And you roll some damage, okay?
Yep. And the DC on that is 15.
Yep. I got to roll these in groups, though. There's a different bonuses.
Actually, let me double check that, because 8.
It should be 60.
60 would be very high at this level.
Well, I'm double checking.
Well, he has a +3 from his proficiency, right?
Yeah, it's 3 proficiency and 8.
It's 8 plus proficiency plus 3, which would be 14.
No, it's 15. 15 is right. 15 is right.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. So I got 3 saves there and 1 not save.
3, 4.
And I've got 2. 1, 2.
I love, I've been playing D&D for a long time, and I still love rolling fireballs. It's
yes. No. And then
It's a childish enjoyment of rolling many
It is. Just rolling a handful of dice,
Yep.
It never gets old.
Okay.
Alright, sweetness and light. So, grouping.
Give me a number.
38.
Okay. 1, 2,
You
3,
lightly
4,
singe one of them.
5.
And then comes the running part. If they
They look annoyed.
they're just kind of like, huh, what was that? We run.
they were kind of cold, and now they're nice and toasty.
That's just what we needed to get our strength back up.
Okay, so the fireball explodes in the mass of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them drop right on the spot, including 1 warg. The eye, the warg, and the orug come racing towards your position. The rest of the orcs burst into action, and they are all kind of spreading out. Some are racing towards your position, some are racing due east, some are racing southeast. Everyone roll initiative.
Okay.
As soon as he did the explosion, I'll also fire some spells. Yes, I rolled a 1. So I have initiative 5.
So much for the as soon as part, huh?
Well, she was kind of building a little snowman, so she's preoccupied with that.
Really? You're texting now, really?
18 for my initiative.
Okay. I got a lot to write down. Call them out. What'd you get, Belmar? You got a 1, right?
I got, where the dex is 5.
All right. Jawdat and Talrun.
Yep, I got a 12.
Talrun? Sorry, Jawdat?
I got a 17 with my dex. It's a 17.
Excellent. And someone want to make a roll for Suda, please?
Sure. I rolled a
Roll
7.
for monsters here. So that's going to be 10 for him.
So that's
Suda.
17 for Suda.
That's right.
That's it. Alright, so 20 and 11. So that's those guys. Okay. Oh, that's those works. Sorry, I got a lot of initiatives to roll. I'm almost done.
Sorry.
Ooh. Are you seeing these numbers?
No, you have a map.
Oh, I haven't rolled many numbers below 15.
Well,
Let's
better
get
for
to
initiative. Better for initiative than anything else.
I guess, yeah. All right, so the wargs start racing in that direction. What is your guys' reaction? Like, you guys are casting a spell, Balmera and Jada. You're both going to cast spells.
Yeah. As soon as I see the fireball go off, I will cast Scorching Ray.
Okay, so 2 wargs are going to charge your direction. They can just get to you, but they can't get an action because they have to do a dash to get it.
Oh.
So they're going to just burn their turn getting to you. So that's where they are. The 3 orcs in the upper left, they come racing towards the southeast. They're just running, basically. The remaining ones, the warg, which is on top of which the eye is on top of, is racing in your direction. The org and the that's it. That's it. All those orcs died. There's only 3 left from that group. The southwest group, only 3 survived, and all the other orcs that are close by, they come racing towards your position as well. So here's what's going to happen. The go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say they all saw where the fireball came from, or
Well, they're running in that direction. They're just running in that basic direction. Okay, and these guys, I'm assuming, are standing up to cast their spells,
they're
so
not
the
necessarily
wargs are racing towards that direction.
okay, so they're not necessarily looking directly at me. They're just looking they're just heading in this direction. They're heading in all directions to.
They're not far off. They're not far off though.
Okay.
So let's see, 18, 20. Okay, so the Orog, who is on top of one of the wargs, is going to get an attack because he was on top of the warg, and he's going to attack you, Balmera, and probably miss. 15.
Well, they can reach us.
Right. So let me clarify.
He didn't use any movement. He rode another semi-intelligent thing that used its movement.
Correct. That is correct.
But there's 100 feet to the edge and 100 feet up the hill. Right?
All right. So I'm going to say they're both at the bottom of the hill, and he's going to throw a javelin at you from that point, which 15. Is a 15 going to hit you?
No, it will hit the snow.
So a 15 goes. The other Orog is not going to get his attack off before you do jaw dat. I'm just doing this in quadrants.
All right. So
let me just clarify the position here because I know we got a lot going on. All the orcs in the southwest, they are running in the direction of Grim and Talrun. These remaining from the southeast, from the southwest group, 1 warg, an eye, and 1 orog survived. They're running in that direction. The 2 orogs up top of the works, they're both running directly towards Balmera and Jadad and Suda, and the other 3 orcs are running to the southeast. Jadad, it is your turn. There is 2 orogs and 2 works approaching your position. They're at the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at the Orog, who did not throw the javelin, the other one.
You got it.
And so, yeah, I'll whip around my hands and mutter and some bad, whatever the equivalent of Spanglish Orcish is, you know, and. Let's see if I can hit him. 16?
Orog gets a hit.
Alright. Suck it, Orog.
Orog has an AC of 16.
So he gets hit by a ray of light, right?
Yeah. There's this warm whip of wind and this trail of like it actually leaves like a jet line in the air because it's this warm energy going through the cold air, so you can actually see the condensation trail behind it. That's not bad. 21 points of damage.
Oh, so you wound him pretty good. He lets out a cry, and he's going to return a javelin in your direction. And
I don't like the fact it was wound him pretty well.
16 hit you?
I believe so. I'm 99% sure.
Okay,
I have a silly chain shirt now, so yes, it does.
So he pierces you with a javelin for 8 points of damage.
How big is his javelin? Is he throwing telephone balls?
I don't know. It's 1d6 plus 4 right into the boot. He is a big orc.
Right. Yeah, there was just a lot of oomph behind it.
So the 7 orcs that were closest to you, Talrun and Grim, they are now spread out, kind of in a semicircle around your position, scanning the snow, looking for you.
Okay.
The Eye and the Orog, they apparently have seen you because they are both casting spells. The Eye finishes casting a spell, and you don't notice any effect. However, the Orog is just going to chuck a javelin at you, Grim, and he's going to be at disadvantage because he's going to be at far range. Okay.
Well, remember too, I also have cover, so because I'm using the tree as cover.
Either way is disadvantage. I got a 16.
I had a 16.
All right. So he manages to hit you with a javelin, a long shot for 6 points of damage.
A piece of paper. Someone hit me with a piece of paper.
Now, the rest of you can go. So, Talrun.
All right. So it's quite clear that they. So.
Well,
is
2
the
of
eye
them see
right
you. The 7 orcs are looking for you. They're probably going to spot you very soon.
Are the Eye and the Orog who threw the javelin at Grim right next to each other?
I wouldn't say they're within 5 feet, but within 15 feet of each other.
Alright, I am going to attack that Orog then.
Okay. So you go racing down the hill towards this Orog who's on foot. He's lost his warg.
Alright, yep. And I'm going to strike him 4 times.
Okay.
Because I can pick arbitrary numbers and decide who's going to attack.
His AC is 16, and he's already badly wounded. Burp.
Okay, that's 3 hits.
You're going to
One
kill
was
him.
a okay, one was a 1.
You're gonna kill him. Oh, all right.
So, I don't know if you want to...
Yeah, I want you to roll me a
fumble?
percentile. Yeah. Which attack was a 1?
I'll say my first one.
All right.
It is 68.
You drop your fists.
All right, so you're going to make those next 2 attacks at disadvantage. I'm going to have you re-roll them.
Alright.
Your hands fall off.
Yeah.
That was another 1. And a 2.
You can't get,
All right,
you
so
can't get double
it's
fumble.
nothing but air. 3 swings, and you catch nothing but air.
Alright, but 1 did... Oh, yeah. No.
Okay. Everybody's gone except Suda. Is that correct?
No, I am still missing. So, Steve,
Sorry, you go,
get-
and then we're gonna have Suda, and then we're gonna have Grim again. Then we'll start the next round.
I get an
Go ahead.
advantage if I hit the one you marked, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm gonna give you advantage on all your attacks while they're downhill.
okay.
So you
At
have
least until
double
they get into
advantage.
melee range with you. Once they get into melee range, that little height advantage isn't going to count.
Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna go for Brooke then and target the other one. So her circle flares up while she's thinking about Torun and how he slapped her, so she gets furious, and she kind of concentrate on the Oro, and a beam of fire shoots out, hopefully hitting him.
How many beams?
Just one. With a 19 on the die.
Is that from your head bracelet?
Yes.
Because it fires 3, right?
It's 3, right?
It fires 3 beams.
Yeah, but you said it dealt 3d10, and I could do it 3 times a day instead of being a scorching, right?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yep, you're focused it. Go for it.
Okay, so she hits.
Okay, you struck the what? I'm sorry?
The unwounded Olrok.
Okay.
Hang on, I need to roll a lot of dice.
The first
roll a lot of dice in.
Oh, that was so crappy. So 20 points of damage.
Ooh, okay. Oh! He curses and plans to kill you.
And
he actually takes out a notebook and starts writing on his plan. Like,
yeah,
that's it. That's it.
And
Diary.
She'll use her bonus action on thinking kindly words of Jardat, and kind of small flecks of snow will rise up and turn into sand, and she will cast healing word on him. So you will get 5 hit points healed.
yay!
Our healer.
So like, I just imagine that the javelin sort of pops itself out as the wound shrinks a little bit from.
Nice. I like that. Suda. Does someone want to attack for Suda? I got enough monsters to roll for.
Okay.
He gets 4 attacks as well.
I'm on it. All right.
Same plus you get, Torun, whatever that is.
So.
Okay, so yeah,
All
he
right.
gets plus.
Yeah. All right. So he's going to charge down the little bit of the hill to engage these guys, because he doesn't have any ranged weapons. And as he gets about within 10 feet of him, he's going to flip up in the air and land between one of the Orogs and the one that I hit.
Okay.
Between the Orog and the Warg, and I imagine that they're either occupying the same square or roughly that area. So he's gonna do 2 attacks on the Orog, and then he's gonna spin and try and attack the Warg also.
Sure.
So all right, first 2 attacks on the Orog.
The Warg is AC 13, Orog is 60.
All right, well he got a. What's his pluses?
Torun, you tell me.
I mean, it's all right. I rolled a 16. I rolled a 16 and a 19. So
hit. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Smash.
And then,
smash.
what's his damage with his fists?
I don't know. Just use
level is
Torun's
it?
stats. But you'll say about the same as yours now.
It's a D6 plus 5 per hit.
Okay. So that's going to be 11 plus 8. So 19 points of damage to that Orog. As he just, just fist, and then he spins to kick the Warg in the face. And get on the paper here. It's a 14 and a 26 for the Warg.
Both hit. Both hit. And you're gonna murder that Warg.
2, 9 and 10, so 19 points.
You only had 11 left. So you kill that Warg, or he drops it.
Yeah, so he sweeps its feet, and it lets out this very disturbed yelp, and then he just brings his other foot down on top of its head, and you just hear and he just caves its skull.
Just imagine that, someone running up to a Warg, kicking it in the head, crossing his skull, and the rider just goes, boom.
He's I think at this point he's more concerned about the fact that he knows he got 2 really solid hits on the Orog, who's already been hit by a spell, and he's still there. It's like, you're bigger than I expected.
Okay. Grim. So you've got an eye, a Warg, and closing in on your position, as well as even closer are 6 orcs.
Okay.
Or
But
semi-surrounding the
the
area.
6 orcs haven't seen me yet.
No, but it's inevitable. Like any second.
Exactly. So this is my plan. Leading around the opposite side of the tree away from the 6, I point to basically behind the eye, and the others are definitely heading towards me, and I kind of stir the one really fast, and give it a twist and flick, and how big are those giants that are on the ground?
10 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet.
Awesome. Well, one very much like them, but this one's about 15 or 16 feet high.
Okay.
Appears behind them, and he's dressed in these sort of very tribal, shamanic-looking things with bones hanging off it, and bits of stone just kind of dangling from a loincloth, and he's got these flaming red eyes, and he has this massive club that he's holding over his head, and he just roars right behind the eye.
Yeah, he screams, "You won't get the treasure!"
Okay. So
and just one more thing real quick. As my bonus action, I reach into that little bag, and I whisper to the little fur ball that I pick out, and I say, "Protect me at all costs." And I toss it out into the snow nearby.
roll a d8.
All right. 6. Let's see.
So describe what happens then.
Okay. So, awesome. That's kind of cool. So basically, as it leaves my hand, it elongates into this. It almost looks like the ball of fur just gets really long, but it's huge, and it elongates into this giant weasel. Well, it lands in the snow nearby and starts stalking around in a circle.
Excellent. Okay.
And it's white because because there's snow around, and weasels in snowy areas turn white in the snow.
Grim has many tricks up his sleeve.
Okay.
So
the round two.
gigantic
So
giant behind them.
the fire orcs, they're going to spend this entire turn again getting into position, and they're going to be ready to attack the next turn.
Just for clarification, the far orcs are the 3 near the dead giant?
3.
Okay, I didn't know if
Correct.
it was that other group that was coming back.
That's correct. No, they're gone, at least for now.
Right.
There was an Orog attacking Talrun who failed to connect, and he's going to try and cleave you with a giant axe. He gets 2 attacks. 1 miss and 1 hit. So he's going to hit for 1d12 plus 4. So he hacks into you with a giant axe for 13 points of damage. The warg goes chasing towards the weasel that you summoned.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to attack the weasel.
Wall,
and
the
miss.
Wonder Weasel.
So, yep, I rolled a natural 2. The eye is taking position behind a tree, and you see a giant spear appear above you, Grim, and tries to poke you.
Okay.
Spiritual
So
hammers.
they basically ignored my big giant?
Wait a minute, just the eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I had it appear right behind him as a.
Right. We can talk. We can
Okay.
do that after. So
Okay.
the giant spear manages to stab you for 8 points of damage. The 6 orcs that were almost on top of you turn as a group and rush to surround this giant. They're all going to make attacks at it. What happens when they hit? Like, will they detect it? Will it
Let's
become?
see.
It's just an illusion, right?
Yeah.
They probably dispel it, but we have to hit it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't dispel it, but their things will pass right through it.
Okay, so they're
If they
going to
hit it.
waste those 6, yeah, I got a 20 and an 18. 4 misses.
Yeah.
So those 6 are going to waste their entire turn attacking the illusion giant. And then in the last group, we have the 2 orgs and, well, 1 remaining warg. The Orog, which was fighting Suda, is going to take 2 rolls at him and miss both times. Suda manages to dump out of the way. I got an 8 and a 1.
Yep.
I'll clear the map if you want to see the rolls. And then the other Orog is going to go charging you, Balmera. And I got 1 hit and 1 miss.
Okay.
5 points of damage.
Okay. I will use my uncanny dodge to have that. So is that 3 or 2?
2. Truncate fractions. And the warg he was riding is also going to try to bite you. The wargs get 2 attacks.
You said truncate fractions. My brain heard chunk 8 fractions.
And the warg misses. The warg misses 2. That rolled terrible.
Chunk 8 baby Ruths, along with Slaw.
Okay, so Balmera, there is an Orog in your face trying to kill you. He managed to hit you once. What do you want to do about it?
Well, it's Jada's turn first, right?
Okay. Yeah, I kind of broke it up into quadrants. It was just easier to track, but.
Okay, but I'm right next to Jada still, right? Jada hadn't moved.
Yep.
I have
More or
not.
less. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I might have shifted a few feet, but
Yep.
That's good enough. Okay, she will quickly get out of her rapier and she will stab him to death. Hopefully.
You need a 16.
Anyone else
Hang on.
find that series description uncomfortable? She asked where Jawdat was and then said him to stab him to death.
Well, maybe in the heat of the combat she's gets confused.
An orc.
Okay, so she will hit an AC 17.
Yep. So there's blood being left all over the snow. You can hear the cries of the orcs, the howling of the wargs. Go.
That's just a terrible roll. Okay. So that's 16 points of piercing damage.
Okay. You cut him open a little more. He's still standing.
I don't like that. I'll use my cunning action to kind of double out. So I'll use the disengage action.
disengage.
Disengage action.
Okay. And you're going to back away up the hill?
Yeah.
Okay. Jawdat. So that leaves you with Suda facing 2 Orogs and a Warg. Since Balmera chickened out.
Right. Whew. What do you do with a Klondike bar? No.
Just cast a fireball and get it over with.
Yeah. The cleric's gonna cast Fireball.
Maybe you picked up something from Gurm too.
Could happen.
You mean like VD or?
No, that's Bill Murray you're thinking of.
Not yet.
All right. So I'm gonna step in a little closer to Suda. So I guess cinematically we're kind of back to back now.
Okay. Excellent.
And I'm gonna draw out my new silver or my banded table leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
And as I do, I'm going to use it for the first time in casting the spell, and the runes that I've carved into the handle sort of light up in this brilliant sunshine, when you get that reflection off the desert sand, it's like that yellowy gold, and
Right.
this ball of golden flame will erupt from the end of it and hopefully hit the warg.
Sure.
Dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I rolled an 18 plus
Okay.
1, 19.
Well, he will take no damage as he jumps
Oh,
out of
okay.
the way, and this just this like it just burns to the ground. So now you see like this rocky, grassy ground where all the snow's melted away in like this like little 5 foot by 5 foot circle.
Fortunately, you didn't burn Suda.
Or did I?
Whom you can attack for now, if you like.
I would like to. All right.
So, there's 2 Orogs and a Warg there, all hurt.
Yeah. So thinking. Was that?
Do a spinning group slap.
Yes, a spinning group slap. That 5th level monk ability.
Yep.
So he has his 4 attacks. Is that using flurry of blows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope so. Otherwise, he's level very high.
Otherwise, he's level a lot.
Unless he's a fighter this whole time.
No,
I have him
and-
as the same level as Talrun right now. I mean,
All right,
Talrun
and
was level
what
0 when he was being trained. So.
what
You almost succeeded your master.
what path are you, Torrin? Open hand?
Not the same one as him.
Not the same one as him?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Whatever you want. I don't care.
Tashif is trying to be a politician. Completely avoids the.
No problems. I got it.
Yeah, I think Way of Open Palm though is most appropriate.
Yeah, I was thinking that or elements would be kind of cool.
He probably would have the same one he taught you, Talrun. Doesn't that kind of make sense?
Well, I mean, he could have instructed them on the
just-
basic martial arts and then let them go on their own sort of journey once they're at that level 3
Could
deal
be.
with it.
Tell you
Alright,
what, get him
anyway,
to attack.
what he's gonna do is he's gonna blow a key point to
Sure.
to use stunning strike
Sure.
on the less wounded of the 2 Orogs.
Both about equal.
Okay, well
Roughly.
then the wargless one.
Okay. Yep.
So he will hit AC 16
Hit.
with a +8, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
Nope. I mean, probably nope. Natural 8.
Yeah, nope. So he is stunned and unable to take any actions till the end of Suda's next turn.
Does he take any damage from that?
Yeah, he's gonna take his normal damage, which is 1d6 plus 8, or 1d6 plus
5.
5. So 8 points of damage.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he just,
So,
like,
so he's in a daze.
all right, and then he's going to use his other attack to attack the warg.
Okay.
And he'll hit the warg again, trying to bring the axe kick down on its head because that seemed effective last time. And he's gonna do 5 plus the 10 points of damage.
Okay, so that warg is even more wounded.
Crunch.
All right. So, Talrun.
All right.
So right now, the only thing around you, I believe, is one Orog who's wounded.
Yep.
And there are 9 orcs approaching your position now, having dispatched that illusionary giant.
Okay. The eye's not near me?
The eye is not within melee range of you, but you can maybe cover the distance.
Okay, no. I thought it was fairly close. Anyway.
Nope. The eye is staying back and using spells.
Okay. Yeah, I'm continuing to fight this Orog.
Okay.
Okay, his AC is like 16, right?
16, correct.
Yep, nice, so that's 1 hit.
Okay.
And that 1 hit is for 9 points of damage.
Alright, so he's badly wounded.
Alright, so I'm gonna spend a key point for Flurry of Blows.
Yep.
1 more hit.
You're going to kill him.
Yeah, so
So just describe that to us. This already burnt and beaten Orog.
alright, what weapon was he holding?
Great
An
axe.
right? So after he like slashes me across the chest with it, I managed to knock him back a few steps and punch him squarely in the throat.
Okay. Boom, he falls over. So, Grim, you have this sort of semi-opaque spear, giant spear floating near you, and there are 9 orcs kind of closing in on both your position and Talrun's position. The eye is still about 50 feet away.
It was a good run. All right, I'm going to.
Burning hands would be good.
Yeah.
You yelling that across the battlefield there?
Yes.
Hey! Roast his marshmallows.
Roast is
No. No, I'm actually going to use. I'm actually going to use Witch Bolt. So I kind of flip my my wand to my other hand, and with my hand with the iron ring, I just sort of reach out viciously toward this cowardly orc, and my hand turns bright purple for a moment, and this arc of virulent purple light just reaches out at him to hopefully touch him. And let me double check that.
It's so dirty.
Hey, he's trying to reach out and touch someone.
Exactly. And I don't remember if it's a.
I think it's a ranged 2-hit spell.
Yes, I was going to double check if it was that or if it was a save. Yeah, ranged attack spell. Okay. 19 plus
Yeah, it's a hit. Yeah.
7. Okay. So I'm going to use a higher spell slot too because
Sure.
I really want to do them. And so it's 2d12.
You're going after one of the orcs, or you're firing
I'm going
across
after the
eye? All right.
Because this will hopefully disrupt his spell. Because that's got to be distracting, getting electrocuted in the snow.
As opposed to getting electrocuted on the street.
Yeah. He takes 17.
Okay. So I want you to make me a perception check.
And this maintains for as long as I want. Okay, perception. Oh, not bad. Good. 20.
Okay, so you notice that between the last time you attacked the eye and this time, it's healed itself.
Okay. Well, then all I have to do is make sure that he keeps taking more hit points each round than he regains. So.
Is this kind of like the Emperor in Star Wars where he just stands and just?
Well, no, I'm still using the tree as cover. Don't get me wrong. I'm still behind the tree, just.
Yeah, but he.
Yeah, it's basically force lightning. Yeah.
Okay, so the spiritual weapon ends. I didn't make my concentration save. The 9 orcs, though, they're going to close in their position, and they're going to take a bunch of attacks. I'm going to do 3 on Grim, and 1, 2, 3 on Tauren. So here's what's left. You've got 2 Orogs, very badly hurt, 1 Warg, very badly hurt. You've got an Eye that's somewhat hurt, and you've got 9 Orcs that are currently surrounding Grim and Tauren. So Grim, you get hit a number of times. Let's see, each one of those is 1d12. So 1, 2, 3. What's your AC?
16.
Yeah, they hit an 18.
Well, unless the tree provided any cover.
Even with that, I still got you 3 times. So you're going to take 16 plus 9. You could take 25 points of slashing damage as these orcs hack into you.
I dropped.
So that's 3. Okay, boom, down he goes. Beside him, Talrun. I only got 1 hit. I don't know, managed to hit. They're using great axes, so 14 points of damage, Talrun.
That's not entirely good.
And that brings us back to the top of the order. So, Balmera, you're fighting. You've backed off.
Yes.
Talrun and Studa are fighting these 3 very wounded, 2 wounded Orogs and a wounded warg.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. She will sling a firebolt on the one next to Jardat.
The one that's stunned or the one that isn't stunned?
The unstunned one.
You got it?
So she will hit an AC of 19.
Hit.
Hopefully this should kill him. Hang on, yes. 10, 15, 18.
Oh, yeah.
24 points of damage.
14 left.
Okay.
So flames overtake him, and it's screaming. He falls in the snow.
So she kind of claps her hands together, and when she opens them, there's a ball of fire between them, and she releases a bolt of fire that kind of burns or melts the snow as it travels down the hill into the Orc that catches on fire. And we now have a barbecue Orc. As he goes down screaming, cursing his ancestors for listening to the shaman.
Excellent. Jaudet, so you have a dazed Orog before you, stunned, and you have a warg, an injured warg before you as well.
Right.
Both are badly hurt.
Well, I'm going to again whip my table leg around at the stunned Orog, and he can make a dex. Oh wait, so no, he can't.
No, he's stunned. He doesn't. Let's just call it a kill. Whatever you're doing to him, you just describe it.
All right, yeah. So it's going to be that golden orb of fire just right where he's at, and it'll take 14 points of damage from it actually. So.
Yep. Boom. He joins his companion in the snow. Suda is fighting the warg.
Yep.
That was carrying one of them.
And now he will just punch the.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 4
More
hits.
blood and burst. All right, you're gonna kill it.
Yeah. So he just a whirl of feet and hands as he just.
Clearly an animal hater.
Right. Clearly.
So you guys are left fighting nothing in that quadrant. So all that's left fighting are 9 orcs and the Eye of Grumpsh.
All right.
Okay, so just for reference, and do we see Grim go down?
Sure.
Well, they would take their hill. Between.
I think your combats. You guys, you were on the inside of the hill, and they were on the downside of the hill. So, I'm going to say yes. You're combat savvy enough. You're watching the fight. In any case, you can see him surrounded by orcs.
Okay, so I'll use my move action to just go as fast as I can to that direction.
Okay. Toru. So you're surrounded by orcs. You see Grim fall near you.
Alright, and who's closer? The orcs near me or the eye? The eye is way far back, right?
Oh, yeah. You got a whole bunch of orcs surrounding you.
Alright. So I just
all the big guys are down, though.
I turn and scream and just charge at one of the people near Grim. Is there someone fighting me? Yeah.
Well, they just were, so yes.
Yeah, okay. I scream and just violently attack him then.
Go for it. AC is 13, I think. 13, hide armor.
I, yeah, that's one hit.
Yep.
And yeah, I think I'll flurry of blows again. Alright, so that's 2 hits in total. And
Yep.
at 18 points of damage, as I strike him like 18.
Yeah, you kill him.
Okay, I strike him once, just like my normal kind of monk style punches. Then I just kind of slug him really, really hard a couple of times until I break something in his skull.
Okay. Okay. Grim, want to make me a death save, please?
Yeah.
You can use inspiration here if you like.
No, I'll probably save that for the last one if I need it.
Okay.
8, so 1 failure.
Strike 1. So the orcs aren't attacking you anymore. However, 3 of them are going to take attacks at Talrud. Some of them are going
don't forget
to...
the weasel. The weasel is still defending me, too.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the weasel.
Because it's not
Make
a
an
spell.
attack for the weasel.
Because it's not a spell, it's a magic item, so... I'm assuming it's still active and defending me.
Yeah. Go last until a minute or it's dead. So, yeah, you can make an attack for the weasel right now, in fact.
Okay, well, it would probably attack the one nearest me since my order was to defend me.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Gets 2 attacks. 22 and 17.
Both hits.
Okay. Hang on. Whatever it is takes 13 points of presumably biting damage.
The weasel kills another orc.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what's happened. So 3 of the orcs, there's 7 left plus the eye, run to where the eye is, and they are starting to move to the south, like using the hill for cover that Talrud and Grim are on. 4, however, remain to try to murder Talrud. 2 of them managed to hit.
They all have advantage.
Oh, okay. Right, because you're going nuts. Okay, so I'm still going to say 2 hits. 1, 2.
They get advantage on hitting you.
You'll see, he's going crazy. So you're going to take 21 points of damage as they hack into you.
Instead of that, I'm just going to lie on the ground and bleed.
Boom. He falls down bleeding. Balmera,
Yes,
you definitely witnessed this?
I'm running
So there's
very fast.
4 orcs and 3 orcs and an eye.
Okay, but I'm going straight for the red hill, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash while using my movement to run.
Yep.
So she's gonna run all she can muster.
Okay. So you close the distance. Some of the orcs that were fighting Taru now turn to face you. Jada.
I'm also moving that direction.
Okay. Suda will run at full speed as well. Now you can see that 3 of the orcs in the eye are making their way to the south, sort of trying to leave the battle area, as it were.
So all the orcs are leaving.
No, 3 orcs and the eye are moving to the south, and the remaining 4 orcs are closing in to face you guys as you approach, as Grim and Taurun lay dying.
Okay.
So, if I were to stop 60 feet from Grim, how far would that put me, feet-wise, from the eye? 120-ish? 100-ish?
Yeah, probably even more. Let me show you, give you kind of an update.
Yeah.
So the way I see it now is you guys are running here, there's some running here, and these guys are like going down here.
Right, but I mean, so we're talking 75 foot ish from the center of that hill to the edge of it, and then.
Yeah, if you got something that's going to be like borderline in range, let's say it's in range.
All right, yeah.
We were near the edge of the hill, kind of we were on the north western.
All right,
side.
so
My house rule is close enough. So
all right, cool.
It's
Then
close.
yes. Once I'm within 60 feet of Grim, and I'm going to take advantage of that. So.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the 3 orcs attack Balmera.
Yeah, as soon as they're within 90 feet of me, I stop up and cast a spell at them.
Hang on. You were rushing towards them now. You're changing your mind.
Yeah, well, if they were going back, they went from Grim and started charging me.
Whoa, wait. Yeah, 4 are coming at you and 4 are going.
Yeah, I'm assuming she can see that before it reaches her.
No. You said you're using your full thing to dash forward. So 2 don't hit you. 1 manages to strike you.
Okay.
So you get hit for 7 points of damage. So now there's 3 and a 4th orc closing in on Suda and Talrun. It is your turn, but I want Talrun and Grim to make me death saves.
1 fail.
11.
Okay, 1 and 1.
Okay, she's gonna roll with the
You can use
punches.
inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to do, Balmera?
She's gonna roll with the punches and use her reaction to half the damage again.
Sure, no problem.
Then,
you don't even have to tell me that. You can just do it automatically.
Okay, and then she's gonna throw some sand at their faces and cast a spell. She casts sleeps and it
Go for it.
deals 22 points of sleep damage.
All right, so you drop 1 of them. So that leaves 3 combatants left for Talrun and Jadet to deal with. What do you want? Unless you want to go after the distant ones or do something else, Jadet. Currently,
Yes.
Suda is between you and the orcs. Okay. By about 10 feet, you got a bit of a buffer.
That's fine. All right, so I've come like sliding. Okay.
Can I use a disengage to kind of use the hole that I made to go between them and use my move to?
No.
Yeah, a disengage has to be a withdraw, not an advance.
Okay.
Really?
What?
I was unaware of that. Wow.
Well, because otherwise you're dashing.
Okay. Well, I'm dashing then. I'm dashing through them.
Okay. Well, you just had your turn.
Yeah, but I still have move and a bonus action, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because of being a rogue. Yes.
Right. I'm going to take a couple of OAs at you then. 1 miss, 1 hit.
Okay.
So you get slashed for 16 as you rush through them.
Jesus.
Okay.
Now it's your turn, Torun. Sorry, Jadet.
Okay, so I come to a sliding stop, and it's that reenactment from the docks. So out of my right hand is going to burst this sandy laser beam at the Eye of Grumsh, and everybody else. So Grim, Tolrun, all of us. Wow, I actually can do all of us. So everyone's gonna get back 6 hit points.
Wait.
Okay. So those of you
Killing ward.
who were dying, you can change your dying condition to prone. Now the prone condition instead of the dying condition.
And then I'm going to use my inspiration here on my attack on the Eye of Grumsh.
Yep.
And
Who's also with 3 orcs.
that's fine. My highest roll's a 19.
Oh, that's a hit for sure. The
Okay.
eye is
I
a
wasn't
AC
sure,
16.
I didn't pay attention to that. I'm sorry.
No sweat.
And then
So you're blasting that group with a spell or is individual?
nope, just
spell?
him. Just him.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And so second, and so we're gonna use it as a 3rd level spell. 5, 9, 15, 20, and 11. 31 points of radiant damage.
Oh, so the eye screams in pain, and it tries to use the orcs to move between you and them as they continue their retreat. Suda can attack one of these 3 orcs that's near him if he wants.
Alright, so he'll swing at the first one.
13's the AC.
Alright, so yeah, so he'll hit both of them. Or both hits on that guy. And then it'll be 9 plus 10, 19 points of damage.
Dead.
Alright, so he turns
Snaps
and he'll use his other 2 attacks on the other guy. He'll hit with both of those. And not as good of damage at all this time. So 6 and 9, 15 points of damage.
On the same guy or 2 different guys?
2 different. The first one you said he dropped, so then he turns his other attacks to the other guy, and he'll do the 9 and 6, so 15 points of damage.
On that same guy. Okay, so he kills him. So there's 1 orc left by you. So we are at...
So how many did he drop? 2?
2. So we're at Talrun and Grim. I'm going to give you an update. So Talrun, you're lying prone. There is 3 or 4 orcs dead near you. There is 1 conscious orc about 15 feet away fighting Suda.
He's sleeping.
No, there's one conscious one left.
You said there were 3. I dropped 1 with a sleep.
There was 4 at first.
Sorry.
Yeah. So this is what's left. So Talrun, there's 1 conscious orc left, about 15 feet away from you, with his back to you fighting Suda. There are 3 orcs with an injured eye, about 70 feet away to the west of you, traveling south. Grim is lying near you, unconscious, conscious in the snow. What would you like to do?
Alright, I stand up and how far away are the eye?
About 70 feet, I said. The other ones, the closer one is about 15 feet away.
So I am going to dash as a bonus and spend a key point and run to them.
Okay, run to the big group?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so you go racing over there.
Yes, I feel strangely compelled to attack everything.
Well, there was a closer combatant, though, is all I'm saying. He had one 15 feet away.
Yeah,
okay.
Alright, I believe since I'm moving at 80 feet, I can get to them and attack.
You're 70 feet away, so how does that work? Is that going to take all your action?
I have 40 feet movement. Spend a key point to dash as a bonus.
Right.
So yes, you also have.
So he sells his attack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So.
You're spending a point, right. Yep. So the blur of speed. So you can reach these orcs, but they're protecting the eye.
Yeah, so I was actually assuming that I would hit one of the orcs, not the eye.
AC 13.
Yep. Oh, damn, that means I almost got 2. Okay, 1 hit.
Yep.
Actually, I forgot. That's actually 2 hits. As I am recklessly assaulting them, and I assault that guy for 20 points of damage.
Dead. He falls down in front of you.
I grab his eyes and push them into his skull.
The other orcs are going to counterattack here in a moment. Grim, so you were lying barely conscious in the snow, let's say.
Yep.
Lightly conscious. There is 1 unwounded orc near you, plenty of wounded, or rather dead orcs near you.
Yeah.
And then a few over about 70 feet away that Talrun foolishly charge that? Recklessly
Well,
charge that?
well, I first, my first thought is I'm looking around for the eye, so I kind of glance around quickly to assess his
Right.
location, seeing him.
He is on fire, so he should be easy to see.
So he's behind two orcs and behind
Yeah.
Talrun. Technically, Talrun, you shouldn't have been able to do that because you had to stand up from prone, so your movement should have been penalized. But all right,
Yeah, I'm not.
I forgot about that.
I am not going to bother to stand up because that'd
Okay.
be a waste. That'd be a waste of time. So what I
just
when I
use
do
the
that,
pad for movement speed.
so I reach my hand out in his direction, and it's a forest, so there's logs, rocks, and things like that. So I pick a rock like out in front of him. The spell range is 90 feet, so it's plenty beyond him. So I pick something beyond him, and it doesn't matter if he's on the other side of these guys. I pull this big rock at his face.
Is it a 2-hit roll?
Yes. Let me. No, actually, it's a dex save.
Okay.
And DC's 15. He takes half damage on.
14.
Okay.
That's what we come to, throwing rocks at orcs.
Hey, no, don't knock it.
Worked against the Russians.
Hey, you're the one knocking rocks about, not me.
So he takes 14 as this big 5-pound rock comes from the front, out of the snow and into his face.
Okay, so he screams, and as a reaction, they are all going to dash. No, he's going to dash away. The other two orcs are going to try to cut down Talrun. One manages to hit you, Talrun, for 15 points of damage.
I just put him back together.
I just imagine Jordat building like a Torun-shaped sandcastle, and there's the jerks that keep knocking it
someone's
over.
saving on it. Yeah. I imagine that the rock that Grim drew was really like a snowball packed with ice and rocks, kind of like the mean kids at school, and he just hurled it at.
The Orog near Suda and Talrun misses horribly with a natural 2. And so, Balmer, it is your turn.
Okay, so you can see that Grim is still kicking.
Yeah, Grim's sitting up.
And Talrun, is he still up?
Firing spell.
Or is he down again?
Talrun, I don't know. You tell me, Talrun. Did you fall down?
I'm down.
So he fell down again. There are two orcs standing over him with bloody weapons. They're actually moving away from him.
There's still an orc back at Sutra.
The what?
Is there still an orc back at Sutra?
By Suda? One.
Yeah.
There's one by Suda and Talrun.
Okay.
Got it.
So there's 4 orcs total. 3 orcs and an eye. And the eye and the 2 orcs are making like a dash retreat.
Okay, I'm gonna play the odds.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hurl a fireball at the one at Jardat's location. Yeah, Sudra.
You're gonna hurl a fireball at the
Firebolt?
one remaining orc. Okay.
Big
It's a
difference.
bit of an over.
So I use my headband to do that. I hit an AC of 18.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah,
That's some damage.
That's the D10. 10, 16, 19.
You burn it to ash.
So that's 2 spent.
Okay, so Jawdat, there's no combatants near you. There are 2 orcs and a wounded eye making their way to the south, mostly south.
Right.
If you do not pursue now, they're probably going to be out of range of whatever you want to do after this round.
Okay, so yeah, so what I will do is I will
see Talrun dying in the snow.
All right. What I see Talrun dying in the snow.
Yeah,
Awesome. Quit dying.
Okay.
All right, no, that's all right. All right, so jeez, I'm gonna. What's the distance between me and Tolrun right now? Like
50, 60 feet, something like that.
I-
No, I think it's a little less.
Just as a free action, I just yell, "Go! I'll take care of him! Go! Get him!"
Uh, I kind of look at you, and then all right, I'm gonna move 30 feet towards the eye.
Okay.
Well, I take my movement towards the eye, and then I'm going to again cast guiding bolt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deck save, right?
No, this is a to hit roll, and since
All right.
nobody's hit him since my last guiding bolt, I'm at advantage with it. So, 17 will hit him. I, however, cannot crank it up anywhere near as much as I did last time. So, we will go 5, 10, 13, 18 points of damage.
All right, so the eye falls dead, which spurs the two orcs with it to go into a full-out sprint to the south. They're running at max speed.
And if I moved 30, I'm within 60 of Tolrun now, right? Yes, because we're only
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So bonus action, I'm going to use Healing Word on just him. I cannot do mass again, and you can take back 4 hit points. So again, that sort of sandy laser beam, and then there's this little, like, you know how it looks when you pour hot water through snow and you get that trail that sort of carves itself in?
Right,
So you see like this trail snaking its way to Tolrun, and then almost like this little like desert adder pokes up and like bites him in the arm, and you can see like the energy crawl up his until he gets that little moment as he gets his hit points back.
Excellent. Okay, so Talrune,
Oh man.
and then you, Grim.
I'm going to stand back
Now,
up.
you have 2 levels of exhaustion at this point, okay?
I remembered, and I was actually just about to say I'm going to assume I'm too exhausted to immediately jump back on the prey, so I'm just going to kind of assess what's going on.
I just imagine a barbarian raging with 2 levels of exhaustion is a temper tantrum, right? Because I can't just.
So it's
Really angry but heavily medicated.
kind of like me in the morning without coffee.
Right. We're not sure if he's a zombie at the moment.
That's right.
Well, he
Okay, so
lost a lot of blood.
You are still prone.
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
There are no combats in the immediate area. You can see off in the distance 2 orcs making tracks.
I assume the weasel is gone at this point. It's only a minute, so I'm gonna reach back. I'm gonna reach into the bag one more time for today. I have 3, but I'll do one more.
Yeah.
8. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, cool. So this time I throw it towards those 2 orcs, right? And as it leaves my hand, it begins to expand again, but much bigger, and it begins to turn orange with these black stripes running on it, and leaping through the air is a tiger that hits the snow, and I just say to it, "Kill those 2 orcs," and it goes bounding off down the snow.
Okay.
It has a movement of 40, just FYI.
Right. So you can see the tiger. The orcs are at full running speed. The tiger is slowly gaining on them, and at least from your perspective with the hills and stuff, that the last thing you see is this tiger gaining on these 2 orcs as they kind of go over a bit of a crest in a valley.
I'll go to Grim and kind of.
He's got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, he does.
In their current condition, he does with his bite. He does like 1d10 plus 3.
A tiger
with
claws.
or with claws 1d8 plus 3. So.
Yeah, it's dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Blood and bodies all over the snow. You guys are breathing heavy in the snow.
I'm fine.
She reaches out a hand, kind of helps him up on his feet.
Nothing a good night's sleep won't cure.
Mm-hmm. She kind of looks at the wound at his side. Yeah, I'm sure Jada can fix that.
John is like doubled over, like hands on thighs, like. Yes, with a little bit of rest, I'm sure I can.
Well, I'm sure the monastery isn't that far.
I'm gonna start, moving, like very stiffly, like all my muscles are just achy after all of that. Towards the Eye of Grumsh.
Sure.
A to make sure he's actually out.
Yeah.
And
Cut his
B to repurpose his equipment.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So would it be fair to say you guys want to take like a short rest? And
Yes.
examine the bodies and all that.
Yeah,
That'd be so wonderful.
Bamara's gonna help Grim put his guts back in his body and kind of bandage him up.
Okay.
My guts are out of my body, in fact. But
So
thank you for asking.
Rob, can you shoot me a private message real fast just so I can reply? Because I'm very terrible at sending.
yes. Let me just say this first. So I'm going to rule. You guys can do all the mechanics of a short rest. However that works, whatever you want. It's going to take you 2 hours to have your short rest, catch your breath, and give the bodies a search because they're kind of spread out over this few hundred yards here.
I will use my magic to get us a decent fire going, just so we can warm ourselves up a bit. I mean, it's not like the fireball didn't already like set things on fire, so it's not unexpected.
Right. I imagine there's actually a small bit
Clearing?
of a bonfire where one of the wargs is just still burning out there.
Yeah.
Well, also there's going to be this big 40-foot clear area where the snow just sort of turns to steam, and it's just a big
Huge
dry patch.
patches of red too. Like holy crap.
I can just imagine the camera pans up, kind of like in a helicopter position, and there's this burning corpse around the battlefield. And we kind of hunker down tight, lighting a little fire.
I might carve myself off a piece of burnt warg and chew on that for a while.
No, you won't.
Why not?
I'll give you some travel rations.
Hey, meat's meat.
Hey, you don't know where that's meat been.
In fact, I do know where it's been.
Look, it's
That's
raw
why you
on
don't
one.
want to touch it.
It's raw on one side and crisp on the other. It's bad for you.
Thanks, Mom.
Okay, so you find plenty of javelins. If you want to take some javelins with you, you can. I don't know what your carrying capacity is like. There's lots of great axes.
I actually will take 2 javelins. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I don't.
I'm gonna take a couple too. Those are darn useful.
Yeah, I felt how effective they are.
I'm going to have you make me a perception check, Jawdat.
I'll only take if they have coin or gemstones and stuff like that.
17. Ouch.
All right, so you notice that when you're checking the eye, the boots that it's wearing are different from all the other boots of the orcs. They don't look like orc boots. They don't look like something that's orc made.
All right. Well, I will take those off of him, and also assuming that he is an I am Grumsh, I'm assuming that he probably has a holy symbol.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to take that, and it's going to go into a pouch. I'm not going to wear it or brandish it, but it's going like sort of angrily shoved into the bottom of a pouch there.
Okay. Also, so they have no coins on them, but you do find assorted pieces of jewelry that have value. They range in value from like a few nobles to several crowns worth.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have each of you guys roll me 2d20, And the total of all those is the total of all the jewelry you find on the.
I got mediocre, 10 and 11, so 21.
Do you
Okay.
want me to add it?
Are you guys, are we all keeping track of our individual stuff, or do you want someone to jot it all down?
Somebody write it all down.
I
Just
got it.
divide it up how you will.
I'm just posting it in the chat.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
So these are like, bits of chain, bits of bracelet, rings.
What do you got, Steve? Okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 19 and a 1.
Okay. Aurora will gather all the loot, and she will maybe distribute it later.
Oh, and Rob, I remember last time we talked, this guy had like a necklace of like little animal skulls and stuff that were on him also. Like,
Correct.
I'm gonna take that off of him as well, because I imagine that they're probably like intricately carved, and so it's
Right.
just more
So
as an
what it is,
interest piece.
it's almost like a steel wire with
Okay.
all these like little bones, kind of like
Sure.
charm sort of thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I'll take
Is
that.
Is that the worth in crowns or in nobles?
Nobles. That's the total. Gold. I'm sorry, crowns. Gold.
Okay. So we got 88 worth of
Okay.
crowns.
And then yeah, towards the last end of our rest, I'm gonna wander back up to the initial hill we were on with one of those wargs and do my business.
Okay.
So
What?
that sounds creepy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
So,
I
Battle's
really,
always
really get
exciting.
excited by battle.
really, really love animals.
Hey, I mean, it took
think it's
2
cool,
hours this time before we went there. So.
It only takes me 60 seconds to cast it, so I do.
So, Rob, while during that time, I'm going to take care of myself first to make sure that people have fire and all that.
Yeah.
But once I've had some tea and sort of seen to my wounds, put a little bit of salve on them, I'm gonna wander over to the eye, and obviously he's already been looted at this point, but
Burnt, chopped, stabbed,
yeah.
burnt again, bashed
But
by rocks.
But I take out a small utility knife and I just I cut into his arm, and I'm cutting down the length of the forearm, and with a little bit of butchery, I get one of the thin bones out of there.
Okay, you find his arm is full of gold. Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay, yeah. Right.
No,
I got you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of wipe it off, rinse. Actually, I'll kind of wipe it off a little bit in the snow and then do prestidigitation and just kind of rub down the length, remove any random debris from it. So now it's just kind of got a little bit of gristle on it, and
Okay.
I'll walk back to the fire with it.
Okay.
Every time we leave Crossmeet, you guys get more uncivilized than Bemero is in Crossmeet.
And I just kind of tuck it into my my belt.
So that I mean, we survived, right? So it went well.
Yeah. I come walking back down the hill with a rather beat up warg in tow, walking behind me.
Okay.
It's walking.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, right. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. So yes, so this warg that is with you is clearly looks way too damaged to be walking around, and yet it is.
Yeah. Like the right side of his skull is like crushed in. Like this is the one that he axe kicked all the way down. So like it's not like super bloody anywhere, but when it turns its head to look, like the whole right side of its face is just caved, like way more than his is natural.
Yeah.
And you thought I was grim.
Yeah, Jada just went Alexander. Okay, so Bamel will be sitting near Grim, debating the value of all the jewelry they picked. And when when she sees Jada come back with this horror of a walk, she'll kind of just look, and her jaw will kind of open, and she'll just stare at him in disbelief. What did you do?
A borrowed him.
I say, well, obviously he used necromancy to reanimate a dead creature.
Why?
She turns to Grim, and her jaw drops in even more.
Obviously, haven't you seen this?
Isn't that bad?
Don't stare at me like you've never seen it before.
No, I never seen it before.
Why was it to be bad?
I don't know. That's what all the bots and all that, it's
No,
always.
I
racing
understand.
up.
If you were to interrupt the passing of a soul, a person, an intelligent creature, a dwarf, any of those things, it would be not a good thing. But this is not like that. It is not uncommon in itself, in a bad drought, that we lose work beasts. That some of the healers get together and do this. It is temporary. You're borrowing them. We will return him eventually, but think of it as a member of the group that does not need to eat or sleep. And if anything else we run into out here is dangerous, they are far more expendable than any of you. And I saw how close we came to. Well, I just look at our blood in the snow.
The pools of blood where Tolrun has been.
Right.
I imagine like man-shaped blood snow angels.
Yes, that's exactly it. There's Tauren and blood angels on the ground.
Yeah.
This is something that if it needs to be, what is father? It can be. And I sort of absentmindedly reach over and pet the good side of its head.
Adding to the bizarre look of this thing, I mean, aside from the fact that it's grievously wounded,
Yes.
all of you, your breath is very, very visible in the snow. This, not a bit.
Not so much.
Yeah. I kind of gestured to it with the bone, with the arm bone of the eye, and I gestured to him and say, "Won't that freeze? I mean, it doesn't give off any heat. Won't the meaty bits all freeze up?"
I'm sorry. Are you eating the Eye of Grumsh? Because at that moment, Yondat's jaw just goes. Like, literally, he's sitting near a fire. Everyone's been recovering, and he starts gesticulating like he would with a turkey leg at Thanksgiving.
No, see, what you want to do is you want to have the scene where we first showed up and we come up with a plan, and then you cut to this scene where he has an undead warg, yep. and I have a bone rubber, and all the burnt bodies around. It's like, well, that escalated quickly.
You're drawing diagrams.
Yeah, you should take this down and just edit that middle part out, Rob.
Right.
All right, so.
No, I say, no, it's for a crafting project.
Crafting. I
What?
admit that crafting out of sentient bone.
Well, I'm all,
maybe not. Maybe it's not that bad. Okay.
I'm all for. We're all having our little hobbies.
We're dancing on the same bloodline. Don't worry.
But okay.
All right. So yeah, resting, recouping, and then getting our craft together, and moving towards the monastery.
Before we go, Tolman, are you okay?
No.
Are you in control?
I think for now. It's definitely getting worse.
Would you like a drink of whiskey?
Suda says, how do you mean worse?
You saw me in that fight.
I was rather occupied.
I don't know.
You couldn't fight, but you were very reckless.
I mean, even more than you usually are.
Yes, much more.
Maybe Grim, you should. Yeah, I take out a cup from my backpack and I pour some spirits in there and I hand it to Grim. Maybe you should put some dabs of that tonic in there too.
Oh!
Wouldn't alcohol have the opposite effect?
No, it's...
No, we bought this for you.
We do this. I kind of jerk my head to the mirror. We do this all the time, and I put a one dose of the tonic in the whiskey. I say, there you go, doctor's orders.
Which tonic is this now?
The calming one that we got for him. From
right.
From the bastard.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I take some, assuming that you just gave me the tonic and not the spirits.
Well, he mixed them together.
Yeah, they're together.
Yeah. I take the calming tonic mixed with the spirits.
This will cause the blood to flow to your appendages and into your brain faster. You see, it'll have a quicker effect. Plus, it'll warm you up.
You were lying in the snow for a while, so that's good.
I kind of think about that, and I look at the cup and I hold it up to Belmira to fill.
I pour some more spirits in.
and I'll toss one back and hand it to her. Thanks.
Suda says to actually the group, are your expeditions normally this violent?
Yes, unfortunately.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
He turns to Tor and no offense, but you run with them. Why? Do you enjoy this level of violence?
Well, we don't enjoy it.
He asked Toru.
She kind of stops and thinks about if she enjoys violence or not.
Yeah, I kind of turn and look at Belmira raising one eyebrow, like, really?
Well, we get paid to do it, usually.
More often than not. Even if we're paid in pastries or jam, you know.
It's starting to sound as you have a problem. We just use that as an excuse. Oh yeah, we'll go kill the orcs. Just give us the pasty, and we're off. Then we have an excuse. We do it for the job.
Yeah, because we don't want to kill you, but we were paid.
It's got perks.
But it's often necessary. These people might have come across the monastery.
Yes, but you said this happens all the time, and that you enjoy this line of work. I'm concerned that your desire for violence is growing.
Maybe it's just the infection.
Well,
now hold on.
That
Are you aware of the good this man has done?
I'm just asking him questions. I was with him for over a year. I would like to see him put his talents to good use. Also, this infection has killed everyone we know who has it but one. And that person is insane.
Yes. So all his violence with us has has not killed him, and yet his peaceful time beforehand is.
I'm not judging him. I am merely concerned.
Hmm.
He was a favorite pupil of mine.
Well, I appreciate that, though it did sound quite a bit like judging. We should move on.
I'm sure Suda is just concerned for Torvald, as we all are. As he kind of looks at Torvald.
Yes, I think we should just join into the monastery now.
Mm-hmm.
We should be able to reach there before dark.
Good.
You guys retrieve the mounts and the wagon and everything else.
And like we put in the side notes there, Rob, I'm going to go ahead and load up the other axes and javelins with the hopes of being able to sell them when we get back to Crossmeet.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
while he's doing that, I kind of pull Grim to the side. If he kind of goes berserk again, do you have anything that can take him down without killing him?
Well, we both have sleep spells. We can certainly take him down with those if need be.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our backup plan.
Whichever one sees him first, we'll do it. And if one doesn't take him down, the other one will.
Okay.
In a pinch, I could always reduce him to make him tiny, this big.
Okay. See, nuts.
We can put him in a jar with some liquid. Sell him to the traveling circus or something. Anyway.
Pint-sized monk.
No, but
monk in a jar.
We didn't know that Torvald was part of the expedition or the carnival back in Norbreck.
Torun was maybe in a jar the whole time.
All of a sudden, we realized this takes place before Norbreck. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right. So, yeah. So we'll be heading on. I'll be walking along. Actually, I'll be riding the wagon, I guess. Driving the wagon.
Right.
Okay, so you guys proceed east. Suda mentions that Kirti Gampa is about 90 minutes away, and you should be able to reach there before dark. You guys travel on the wagon, downhills, uphills, downhills, uphills. Eventually, you see the area that Kirti Gampa is in before you actually see any of the buildings. There's a patch of green amongst the snow along the side of a fairly large, very, very gradually sloping hill. There are no outer walls, but there is a demarcation from snow to not snow. You can see numerous people scattered here and there throughout. There are about 24 buildings of varying sizes. You see a faint path winding its way up the middle. Most of the buildings are fairly small. You can see some people here in clumps here and there. You can see a main central building near the top, at the top of the hill, that is 3 stories in height, and each story is smaller than the one below it. So it's sort of tiered like that. It has wide roofs. Each floor has wide roofs and like terraces. So you see this from about, I'm going to say, a few hundred yards off.
I give myself a quick look over, make sure I don't have any obvious blood stains on me.
You're okay, but the rest, not so much.
I point to all the blood patches on Torun's clothing, and I see you have a little something there.
I can barely see since it's red. I say that, but it's all over my face and arms as well.
Oh yeah. Bella looks down at her bloody coat, and she begins to cast a spell, and snow kind of rolls around her, and when the snow is gone, it's clean.
Okay. Excellent.
Is this better? I guess we should be presentable.
Yeah.
When we go kill monks.
I kind of flip my coat over the bone tucked in my belt.
So, should we approach this as a hostile environment, or should we?
What? Why?
Suda looks at you puzzled as well.
Well, given our track records, I mean, when we come to some new location, there's usually bad people trying to hurt us.
You don't intend violence upon Kurti Gampa, do you?
No.
Good.
Bilmer is just very alert.
Yes, alert. Not paranoid or anything.
It's not paranoia if it's true.
And since it isn't, then it is paranoia.
Well, let's go knock them.
Yeah. Although I say to Talrun, maybe your mentor should do the talking, since it is well.
Well, that's the plan. He has to do the introductions.
I'm not sure how you're usually welcomed into other towns, but as long as you're peaceful, no one will bother you. Has it not been how it's been for you?
Yes, but this is the first time we come to a demon-infested monastery, so we're not familiar
Is there a demons here?
We're not familiar with the etiquette.
There are no demons here. If there were demons, they were at Reto Dretsang.
Ah, okay, I misunderstood. I thought we were going to. Never mind. She smiles.
No, we weren't going halfway across the continent.
Yes, well, just be peaceful and calm, and nothing should happen.
My eyes narrow very slightly. It should, but I don't show any other reaction.
So
I go and I start the wagon into town.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
So as you get closer, when you get within about 100 feet, you notice the air starts to warm slightly, and you can see people out working that are, I wouldn't say dressed in summer clothes, but they're dressed in fall clothes and not winter clothes. And there are a few people out doing chores. Some are tending to gardens. You can see little clumps taking lessons, like out of a book, reading lessons, those sorts of things. You see other people moving about, maybe with wagons carrying goods here and there. You're getting curious glances. You don't see anyone armed at all.
Are there any major ways into this town? I mean, because we just sort of came through the forest.
This isn't really a town. It's I guess you could call it a collection, a village. I'm not sure.
Well, that's my first impression. But then the way he was sort of describing it, like, wait, you've never gone to a town before? It's like, well, okay. Not one that's hidden deep in the woods.
Well, he's only known you for a short time, and that time has been filled with violence. So,
occupied by mugs.
In any case, so you meander your way up this path towards the large central building. Again, you're getting some curious stares and some smiles and stuff. Occasionally, a few people might run off here and there. Nothing threatening occurs. When you get within about 100 feet of the main building, and you are now in an area where you're feeling warm from your winter garb. It's fall weather here. The sun is shining above you. There is no snow for about 500 yards to each side. And a human male comes out of the large building. He's about 5'5". He's got straight black hair. As he gets closer, you can see that his skin is sort of a tan, in the Asian-colored skin, that golden sort of colored skin. He's got ears that are just slightly pointed, just slightly bigger than human ears, and he approaches you, and he looks at Suda, and he says, Suda? And he turns to the rest of the group, and he bows slightly. He says, I am Walkul. Welcome to Kurtigampa. I am Thera here.
Well, we're pleased to be here. Do you have any place where we could put our
Yes.
cart and horses?
He points, and you see an area where animals are being tended to. A few oxen, a few horses, a few cows, a few chickens, that sort of thing.
I hop down and I go over to our guide here.
Suda?
Suda. Sorry, I lost his name for a second. And I say, Suda, why don't you see if you can arrange for us? It's getting late. We're gonna need a place to sleep. We're
Of
pretty
course.
beat.
Of course.
And,
Walkul says yes.
I'll go take care of
Suda told us
I'll
you
go
were
take care of the
coming.
beasts.
There is no need. The students here are well skilled at taking care of your animals. They will be well looked after. Please come in and be comfortable.
When he says that, Bilmo looks at Torun, kind of tilting her head. Why didn't you do that back at the Crossmeet then?
It wasn't my job.
I can't remember. It is now. And I take my I take my pack out and I put it over my shoulder, adjust my hat, and I'll follow after this new guy.
Plus, technically, Talrun wasn't a student here. So.
Yeah. Suda's still with us. He went Grim with the Thera, right?
I'm assuming the 6 of you proceed inside.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I'll go as well. Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering what happened. Right. So I kind of look at Suda and will we be meeting the Mahathera to discuss this affliction, or?
Well, Cool says, most assuredly. Let me show you around, show you where I'll be sleeping tonight, and then you can meet Sangharaja for yourself.
I just nod. No, thank you.
So he takes you on a walk around this place. You can see that it's a mix of small rooms, hardwood floors. They have curtains, no doors. Everything just has thick curtains for 4 doors. There are 3 floors to the place. There's a few training rooms, like dojo-type rooms in the middle. As you get higher up, the rooms get more specialized. There's food preparation areas and things like that. And then eventually, so on the ground floor, he indicates 5 rooms that you guys can, 4 rooms. Suit already has a place that you guys can sleep in tonight. They are next to each other, but they are each small enough for 1 person. Basically, it's a mattress on a floor with a pillow, comfortable blanket, a few flowers in a pot near the bed. He takes you through this whole tour of this 3-story place. You notice that there are all kinds of races in here. While there are, the majority of them seem to be the same race as him, this sort of light brown, golden skinned with slightly pointed ears. There are all races here, including even an orc here in training. They are all treated the same. They're all wearing roughly the same garb, but there's halflings, humans, dwarves, gnomes, and half-orc, even an orc here as students. Eventually, he leads you to the top floor, where he introduces you to the Mahathera, who introduces himself as Sendiraha. And Sendiraha is about indiscriminate age. He's got the same slightly pointed ears as Walkul. He has straight white hair in a bowl haircut. His skin is somewhat wrinkled. You can see wrinkles around his hands, and yet there's no shakiness in his hand. He walks very gracefully, and steadily. And he greets you in a private room on the top floor, along with Wakul and Suda.
Mm-hmm.
He bows to you again. Be at peace while you're within these walls.
We'll do our best.
What? He looks at Talrun. What can you tell me of your condition?
It seems to make me angry and restless. It's definitely getting worse.
I see. Well, we have done some efforts in trying to find a cure for this, but our cures seem to result either in death or in madness. Perhaps you have some questions I can answer for you.
What is your cure?
We don't have one. What I can tell you is that the disease that infected you is not a physical one, but a magical one that doubtless involved a ritual. What we may be able to do is send you to where you were first infected, even though I cannot say now where that is. There, perhaps you can find a cure for yourself. If not...
Right. Are you trying to tell me that you're going to send me back to that monastery?
No, we don't believe the monastery is where the ritual took place. We sent monks there and they searched. But it was probably near there.
So we're going to go across the country to somewhere near Rato Trastrain, somewhere in the mountains.
I suspect, yes. As I said, we do not know where you will wind up, but I can send you to the source of what first infected you, wherever that might be.
Seems kind of needle and haystack.
He seems confused by the phrase.
Well, a haystack is normally this large pile of hay that the farmers use to when they're feeding their animals, and a needle is a small bit of metal, usually around yay big, with a hole in one end to run thread through. And if one were to lose it in a haystack, it would be very difficult to find. So what he's saying is, sending us there would be we would still have a very difficult time finding what we're looking for.
As you said that really condescending.
Yeah.
I just slowly turned towards you.
Yeah, +1 sarcastic rating to Grim.
He's the one who didn't understand a needle in a haystack. I mean, come on. I'm not the dumb one. So
while Grim is saying that, and Torun is having the conversation with the monk, Bamira is just standing, being a little angel, not causing trouble or anything. She's like the beacon of civility.
So I turn to Suda, a little annoyed, and I say,
Jesus Christ! Sorry. Carry on.
I say, did we just come here for nothing? I mean, we came very close to dying back there, and I would be really rather annoyed if we came here just for someone to tell us, oh, well, you got to go somewhere else.
No, we can send him to where he was first infected.
But if
How
you
he
send me
experienced
there,
infection, I do not know. As for coming here for no purpose, Talrun will die if this is not treated.
Well, right, but if you're going to send us someplace else, then here's not where we have to be, is it?
Right, but we can send you to where he must be, or
Yes,
at
but
least
if-
where he was infected, wherever that is. We do not
How
know
can
where
you
that is.
How can you send me there without knowing about it?
Because you are infected. You are bound to that spot.
So you're saying that I should just intuitively know where it is?
So you're
No.
saying that you can magically send us there?
Correct.
Oh.
And can you magically bring us back?
Sort of.
I nod vigorously and point to Judd at yeah.
Well,
what
I
he
mean,
said.
can we go with him, or is this a journey he has to
No.
do alone?
The ritual can send up to 6, but he must go because only he is linked. Only he is infected. So he could take up to 5 others with him, should he choose. But where you will arrive, I do not know.
Well, can you tell us is it someplace in our world, or is it another plane of existence?
We think it must have been near Rato Dretsong, so...
Okay, well, I guess
Certainly been on
that's what we're doing in the morning, right?
Well, the ritual will take some time to cast. As for returning you, yes, we can give you a vessel which you can shatter that will return you all here instantly.
How instantly?
Well,
So let's say
nearly instantaneously.
okay, so let's say we're somewhere and by some weird coincidence we end up in a fight that we might not be able to handle. We can scatter this and we'll get out of there.
He looks at Wook. When you shatter the vessel, anyone sent through will immediately return. However, we can only do this once. So if you have not found a cure for Talrun when you return, he looks at Talrun.
Will I be able to bring enough cure for the other people who have been infected?
Well, anyone we know who's been infected is dead, except for one who is mad. You can speak to him if you wish. But every time we talk to him, he gets agitated and hurts himself.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then.
I look at Belmira, and
She doesn't hurt herself.
doesn't she?
No.
Okay,
but okay. So you will prepare the ritual. We will partake in your fine dining and wining, and get ready.
When she says fine dining and wine, I automatically laugh.
We are happy to share what we have with you.
Good.
But we eat simply and drink simply. Yeah. I ask that you remain peaceful while within these walls.
Of course.
If there are any more questions?
Do you have any no inkling whatsoever about what we might face in this ritual?
Something capable of casting rituals to do this.
So I can look at an evil spellcaster. Looking at Grim not because he's an evil spellcaster, because he might know stuff and be able to handle this.
Technically, Grim isn't the necromancer in the group, so.
Fair enough. I only carry on the bones of my enemies.
Yeah.
There ain't none of us who are too shiny in this group.
That's true.
Out of curiosity, John, what did you do with the warg?
Parked it outside, just left it outside the gates. I didn't figure they would really want it in here.
Good call. Doesn't really need to be fed anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, please ignore our undead walk. We really are good guys. Really, promise.
That's good about.
So I guess we will just take a something to eat, something to drink, and a night's sleep.
Yeah.
And
Suda, if you would show them to their rooms.
Yeah.
And while Cool stands up and he bows to you, and Sangaraja also bows to you.
I will bow to him.
I say, and of course, if you don't mind taking care of our beasts while we're away.
It is part of our students' duties. A few more animals won't be a bother.
Good.
Wait, the one who's insane. How exactly does that manifest?
Dusan? Well, we know that hatred, rage increase within the person until they seem to seek nothing but destruction.
I nodded and solemnly turned around.
Okay, so Sud escorts you back downstairs to the main floor where you're shown to rooms. Eventually, you're brought large bowls of thick soup and bread, with maybe a little bit of honey on it.
Okay.
The place is fairly quiet inside. Maybe much more quiet than you used to after being in Crossmeet for a while.
Do they have wine here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then we'll partake of their wine rather than deplete our own stores.
Sure. So, is there anything you guys want to accomplish in the evening?
I'm gonna see if I can borrow a small like hand grinding stone. It's basically just like a rough stone that a carpenter or metalworker might use to.
I guess I'll say yes. I don't know what it is.
To shape. Well, it's basically just a smooth bit of stone, but it's kind of rough, like sandpaper. They would use in lieu of sandpaper.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna spend the evening sitting by one of the fires or whatever they have for that, and I'm gonna be working on this bone, kind of grinding down one end and smoothing it and shaping it.
Okay. So as I said, about half the populace seems to be all the same race, and then the other half of the populace is mixed.
Okay.
The evening passes without incident, very quiet. You guys wake up in the morning, and you're treated to a very simple breakfast of like a thick milk that's been sweetened with something.
Okay.
And again, some more bread.
Yeah. It could be worse.
Eventually, Suda comes to escort you upstairs. This time you're taken to a different room than you first met the Mahathera. And in this room, you can see that there are candles laid out. It's a square room with a hardwood floor. There are shelves along the floor. There are candles laid out at various heights on the floor and both on the shelves. A circle has been drawn in the center of the floor, and the circle is about 6 inches thick with runes, so 2 circles with runes running between them, the length of the all the way around the circumference. You're asked to step inside without disturbing the dust, the fine dust that makes up these patterns on the floor. Suda asks you, Talrun, you can take, along with your 3 companions, you can take 2 of us with you. I would be willing to go. Well, Cool has volunteered as well.
I would be glad to take anyone who's willing to go with me.
Know that any dangers that they may incur because of it are dangers you are asking them to undertake. That is a risk I do so willingly, as does Wakul agrees to as well. However, it is up to you whether you wish to ask that of him.
Mm, um, if necessary, I can speak to him and make sure he doesn't feel an obligation to do so.
Okay. So Akul agrees to go with you. Sangaraja says to you, before we begin, he gives you a flask. It's a rather delicate flask, thin-necked, and inside is a smoke that's just curling. It says, this is how you can return to here. It must be smashed to trigger the magic.
Mm.
Whom do you trust the most? He turns to your three companions. Who should carry it?
I
Given
reached
your
out.
condition, I think it better that you don't.
I pointed everyone except for Balmera.
I reached out my hand.
I give it to Jordat.
Okay. So he gives you a flask of a smoky flask, Jadet.
Yes.
I mean, you're most wise. I assume that you would know when's the most opportune time to use it.
Sangaraj also says to you, Torun, I will need a little bit of your blood to create the bond and the anchor. He gives you a stiletto.
Torun just takes his coat and kind of just goes like this.
Yep, as it just wrings it out. Is yesterday's blood okay? Because I have plenty of that.
We get sent to a weird dimension where everyone's wearing Torun's clothes, but they're also part orc. Got all the orc blood mix. Yeah,
We used the wrong blood.
how much blood's required?
A few drops.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
I didn't want to stab my
70%.
hand and bleed into a cup, and a few drops would have sufficed.
Well,
Fill
we
this-
haven't really
fill this
refined the
flask.
ritual yet, so it's a gallon of blood.
That's it. Fill this flagon. Okay, so you cut yourself with the stiletto? All right. So he takes the blood and he puts it in a flask, and he stands outside the circle. The six of you are now within the circle. He puts a cap on it. In one hand, he has like one of those Chinese lanterns, and he starts swinging it slightly, and he's making incantations. And then he walks in a circle, constantly chanting the whole time. He walks around and around and around. And he makes about 5 or 6 rotations, and nothing seems to change at first. And then the building seems to get a little wispy and start to fade, and you see yourself becoming smoke-like, much like what was in the jar. And eventually, you are almost exactly like smoke. You're in a near astral form. And you find yourself whisking away from Kurtigampa, and you find yourself, in fact, sailing high above the skies above it, and traveling east fairly quickly, about 200 miles an hour, perhaps, whipping across. There is no wind, but when you look behind you, you can see a silvery cord trailing out from all your bodies back to Kurtigampa, right into the roof. You don't feel cold at all. You are incorporeal at the moment. You're whipping along over the skies of Calthania. You eventually you cross over the Dragonback Mountains, which go on for quite a ways, over Galthanor, past Rato Dretsang, right to the shore, and you go right over the land, and then all of a sudden you start plunging downwards toward the water. When you get about 100 feet shy, it turns in again, and you're slammed, but there's no impact feeling at all. But you just like come to a very sudden stop at the entrance to this cave that is about 100 feet off the ground. I'm going to show you. I'll give you another little visual, something like this. Now this cave, it's almost flat, or it is flat in a couple spots, but it's jagged flat. So it's like flat, and then there's a drop, and then a flat spot, and then a bit of a drop. You can see that there's lots and lots of cracks running through this flat area. The cave walls are kind of shattered and fractured. You can see some stalactites, really big stalactites overhead, and you can also see areas where some of them have shattered on the ground, smashing into piles of rubble. You become corporeal again, and you're instantly chilled by the cold wind whipping in this cave. And you're about a few miles, maybe 10 miles north of Blackwater, about 100, 150 feet off the ground on the edge of this cave. This cave slopes slightly downwards in. You can see from many of the fractures in the walls, there is water trickling from plenty of locations. It is also pooling on the floor and running down inward away from the cave opening.
Where on earth is... I think I would remember going to some place like this.
So kind of like someone burst out of the stone.
I would say it's a natural formation. It's just cracked and fractured rock. Maybe at some point something burst out. That's possible. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as Benora gets her solid form back, she kind of stands regaining her footage. Looks around, see if they're all there.
All six of you, yep.
Pulls her winter cloak a little tighter. So this is the spot. She looks at Paul.
Yeah, so it would seem. I kind of reach into my one of my deepest coat pocket, and I pull up my little companion, who kind of I kind of whisper to him, and he begins kind of like sniffing the air, like.
Okay.
Trying to get a sense of well, just the smell of it. What kind of, are there any unusual smells of death, predators, feces, whatever?
Oceany scent.
Okay.
That's the feedback you get so far.
Even from inside the cave, like from that
Both.
direction?
Both,
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright. So I guess we're
Yeah, I'll put him down on the stone and have him kind of lead the way a little bit.
Okay, so the passage slopes gradually downwards away from the opening, and the cave is kind of stepped, but naturally stepped. Like it's just drops a section and then like goes a little bit, and then like there's another little drop, and some of the drops might be just 1 inch, and other drops might be 1.5 feet. So it's kind of like the ground is shifted in places, you know what I mean? And again, you can see cracks running everywhere, through the floor, through the walls, some smashed stalactites here and there. Occasionally, when you're near an edge of one of these drops, like it'll fracture a little bit of will crumble off.
Does this seem like natural to Belmero?
I'm going to have you make me, let's see, a nature check with advantage.
Okay, that's 10.
11. Possibly? Whatever it is, it's not terribly stable.
Does anyone know of what kind of creature would possibly live down here? With this potential?
There was the worm-like creature with the cubids. Is possible something like that, but bigger, or
Gnomes.
a small one of those aquatic dragons, perhaps.
Yeah,
Gnomes?
I've heard of a great creature called a kraken that
Yes.
can bring down whole ships.
Yeah. What else? A purple worm.
Oh, those are nasty.
Yeah.
What-
Some sort
you-
of cave ooze, like the jellos. Yeah. Uh,
So
Yeah,
what you're saying is that we can have a plethora of monsters down here.
it could
Sure.
be even something like a outpost of Ettins or something. You know, they are capable of magic, and it would not surprise me to find them where they have been affected by something.
Well, Talrune, what's the purpose of this this thing they send you on here?
Confront the source of the affliction
Well, no, I mean originally.
of the temple of the monastery.
Well, you haven't been here before, right?
Well, apparently I have, but
a bit of a recap. So what happened is during his graduation ceremony, there was a part where he was unconscious for a time.
So they roofied him.
Turns out that was about 2 days.
So they roofied him, yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, can you? I mean, if they said you had a connection to it, can you feel it? Getting stronger, or is there something pulling at you?
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay, never mind.
Yes. Yes, you could.
Yes, please have some.
We did ask. So it would be seeing you from coming deeper within.
Okay.
Now
I
that
think
you mention it, maybe I feel we should go down there, but no, I'm not sure.
Okay. I think we should proceed with caution this time and not just.
I kind of glance back and say, well, it's not like we can go anywhere else.
Well, I mean, we could send.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the
Lyric.
whistle.
Lyric.
Yeah, Lyric to scout ahead.
No,
A little bit.
Oh, I could scout ahead.
Hey, where's your spider?
He can't handle the cold, so I left him at home. He's taking care of the house.
It's true, he left him in the house.
Yeah. Well, I know that, but my character wouldn't necessarily know.
Yeah, I have him keeping an eye on the house and especially
right,
on.
enough. I don't care about the damn spider.
Okay, fair enough. So, do you wanna send the Lyric off, or should I go off?
Well, he'll lead the way a bit. I'm going to send him kind of along the wall, through the nooks and crannies of the wall. I just don't want him getting too far ahead. And then you lead up behind him, and we'll back you up.
That's a liberal use of templates there, Steve.
Okay, so the party is like slowly traveling deeper into this cave with Lyric scouting ahead.
Yes.
About how far do you have them ahead of you?
Oh, how far does it go? You mean how far ahead of us?
Yeah, I mean, like you could send them a mile ahead, like if there's a
Well,
lot.
no. Yeah, no. No.
He said I'm 10 days ahead of
He's
us.
got
All right, Lyric, you start. We'll join tomorrow.
It's a
Lyric, go find a
He's got a
cure.
good sense of smell, and I assume pretty good night vision for being a weasel. So,
But you have to be within 100 feet of him to sense him, right?
no, I can.
that,
actually,
that was my version. My version of the spell that grows.
I have to be within a certain range to deliver touch spells, but
That's correct.
okay.
but
But it's up to you. Like, do you want them 20 feet ahead? Do you want them 50 feet ahead? Do you want
No, I mean
them a mile ahead?
maybe 30. I want to be able to get up to him in a pinch if need be. So just have
Okay.
about 30 feet ahead.
So I'm
So
gonna
as you
be
guys are-
looking at the front of the party, not in front of Lyric, but kind of annoyed that I have to walk behind the weasel.
So again, the path is like it's plenty wide, but it's very uneven. Like it's not like flat. And you do notice that occasionally when you step, the rock kind of shatters or cracks, and as if you're walking on like shale or slate, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you travel for about another 50 feet in, Grim, the weasel is telling you that it hears something that it doesn't recognize.
All right. I telepathically tell him to come back, and I put up my hand for the rest. I say, "You heard something ahead."
What?
Doesn't recognize it. Actually, before I bring him back, he's close enough, so I'm just gonna close my eyes and concentrate for a minute and hear through his ears to see if I recognize it.
Not really. It sounds like a combination of sounds. One would be a slight, but let's say consistently infrequent scraping of something upon rock. The other sound you hear sounds like a chittering or a clicking or a clacking kind of sound. I'm going to have you make me an intelligence roll, intelligence check.
Oh, I have one of those. Intelligence. Okay.
Imagine that, then you wizard and all.
An even 20.
So you recognize that the pattern of this clicking, clacking, chittering is a language, but it's one that's very foreign.
Oh, okay. So it's something at least marginally intelligent then.
Yes, it's definitely a language, probably not humanoid from the sounds that the thing is making.
Yeah. So I once I open my eyes and then I get Lyric back here. I say, I heard some kind of clicking. I think it might be something speaking.
Clicking? Speaking?
What's that?
Is speaking by clicking?
Some kind of clicking, yeah.
Doesn't sound right at all.
Well, my first thoughts are obviously it has to be some kind of intelligence. So, are there any intelligent crustaceans that we know of?
You think it's a giant crab?
Well, we're at the ocean. The other option would be a very large, some sort of intelligent spider, maybe.
Spiders don't click.
They don't what?
They don't click.
Well, yours doesn't talk, does it?
Well, I mean, Spindle.
Well, you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
It doesn't click. But I guess that could clicking spider.
Well, if it had a language, then it could. I'm just saying that if I had to make an educated guess as to what would have a clicking language, I would lean towards either something with an exoskeleton, like some kind of sea crustacean or a spider.
I shake my head and then I turn around and take one step. Then I remember distinctively hearing like insect noises as I became unconscious from my duration ritual, and I'm like, I think he might be right.
Well, well, whatever they are, it definitely sounded like a language. Not one I recognized, of course, but it had patterns to it.
Okay,
so whatever it is smart.
Well, technical, that means we could be able to parlay with it.
Maybe, but it is a giant. I don't know. It's hurt too many people.
No, it's kind of.
You wish to parley with whatever infected Talrun and all the other monks and turn them to madness?
Well, we don't
They
know.
destroyed the docks of an.
I was saying a shellfish turned him into a raging berserker monk.
Or are you suggesting we should use violence first?
I'm saying perhaps
Brilliant.
you might have to. Well, it seems unlikely that whatever did this would be willing to parley.
I forgot about that.
Well, welcome to the dark side.
The orcs were an option.
But hang on. So
Yeah, but they were orcs. Come on.
the monks you train with sedate you and send you up in this cave where a shellfish infects you. She kind of looks in
Yes.
horror at Suda. Just a little voice in the back of her head is saying to her, "Be glad you're a rogue, not a monk, because that's horrible."
I had no part of that.
I say, well, look, we don't know that whatever's making the clicking sounds are what did this. We know that they were here, but if your people sent Tolrun here, presumably they knew it was here when they did it.
He says that he reminds you that everything was normal at Rato Jutsang until about a year and a half ago. It was then things started to get a little strange. And by the time he figured out there was something really bad going on, he got out of there before they got to him. So that's just a little history.
Okay. Right, so something that lives underground, possibly associated with the sea, is spider or crab-like.
So, what are we debating here? Whether we're going to keep going forward, or whether or not we need to prepare some butter sauce and lemon?
Well, we should definitely do that. That's a given. We're going to eat whatever we find down there.
Right, but we are not answering any questions or getting any closer to anything by standing here and debating whether it is lobster people, crab people, or clicking spider people.
Don't worry, we're going in. I'm simply relaying information. And we're
Okay, alright.
getting some more.
You know, he's
Samara is just
damn right.
staring at Torun in disbelief.
You know, he's damn right. We better continue.
Can your furry friend, can he get any closer and see something?
Yeah, possibly. All right, so I pick him up and I kind of whisper to him for a second, and I nod to say, "All right, you watch yourself. We're right behind you." And I put him down and let him go, and I'm gonna let him go up a little bit further up, like maybe 60 feet this time. But I'm gonna be right up behind him. So
That's 60 feet away.
yeah, and
Okay.
and
Well-
moving along quietly behind him.
While he's doing that, Bilmer will lean into Torun and kind of whisper, "I'm so sorry. That is horrible what happened to you." As he kind of gives him a gentle pat on his shoulder.
As the weasel proceeds in, you're starting to get some emotional, feedback through it, and it begins to feel afraid.
Okay.
And it seems to be reluctant to proceed, but it's not going to defy you if you order him to.
I'm not gonna like demand that he does, but I'll say, just see if you can do a little further. In my head, I don't have to whisper it out.
Okay. Okay. So he goes around a corner. Okay, and again, this thing is gradually slipping down.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys are walking in, you
And
become.
I was gonna say I haven't peek around the corner first, not just like charge around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not being stupid. As you guys are walking further in, it again, frequently your footsteps are like cracking and shattering and crumbling rocks. It's going to be difficult to be terribly stealthy on this kind of ground. The lyric proceeds around the corner and then comes to a stop, and he starts chittering and freaking out. He's kind of at the lip of a bit of a precipice, slope at least, looking down. And what he sees, we'll wait till next week.
Okay.
All right. So thanks everyone for watching, and comment, like, subscribe.
Next episode will be called Butter Sauce and Lemon.
And we'll see you all next week. Bye.